All right. And we are live. Welcome to the Iron Lords podcast, episode number 82. And it's another glorious Sunday, and we are back at the round table on the Lord's Day. I'm extremely excited about our special guest, so we're going to get right into it. I want to introduce a Lord who is not only regarded as our sister to the round table, but it's always a pleasure to see her at each and every E3 and Microsoft function. This lady is the epitome of a true gamer with her passionate streams, insightful commentary, and impactful contributions for female diversity and gamers of color. Introducing a member of both the grown women gaming and nerditude movements, the United States Naval Protector of the Realm, and our dedicated ILP stream team sister, making her debut into the realm of the Lords, my girl, Lady Lboogie. How you doing, sis?
I'm waiting for the crowd. Like,
let's go.
You didn't need to be like announcing for like UFC or something.
I get it.
That comes from that Saturday when they was playing that wrestling so hard.
I know.
Oh, I used to love doing it. Absolute pleasure to have you in the realm. You are a lady and a Lord at what you do. It's only right we have you here and show you proper respect at the round table. Are you ready to have some fun?
Of course.
Let's do it. And you know, we got the four horsemen of gaming, those original lords of the realm here at the round table with our special Patreon tier introductions, courtesy of Lord Deathsinger.
Oh, finally!
Oh, it's about time.
Go. Y'all better be ready for this.
Yo, I got a question. though. Before I get lit.
Before I get lit.
Where them MPDs at?
That fella is coming. We've been working. You know, he's got the dates up on when all that stuff starts to go down. So very soon.
We know what happened.
Oh my God.
We know what happened. Where them MPDs at?
I'm done with you.
Yo, this is the first month. MPDs is late. MPDs is late.
So let's get these special Patreon introductions out the way. My co-host with the co-most, my brother from another mother, the difficult game conqueror, and the
knee bender
of the young wolf. Also, this Lord has collected every amiibo released and is the biggest advocate for Nintendo Online you have ever seen, and recently revealed his epic Bowsette collection. My man, Lord Addict, how you doing, sir?
He knows about my amiibos? How'd that happen?
This is Deathsinger,
like,
man.
Why do you be talking about my amiibos? I told you that's like confidential.
What you been playing, sir? Besides
I'm playing Assassin's Creed Origins.
Would you?
Yeah, Assassin's Creed Origins.
No doubt. And I know you got a lot to say about that. Cooled off on Destiny or just taking a little break playing other things?
To be honest with you, once I beat the raid, like I kind of dropped Destiny for right now.
Yeah, you can break now. You've been going extra hard. I know that was your goal. So I know that's good. So now it's Origins, which I'm surprised you're liking. Like you're really liking it. I mean Odyssey, excuse me, not Origins.
Well, I wasn't a big fan of Origins because I think mainly it was just I couldn't really justify the changing gameplay because I was a huge fan of the original one. So when they changed it, it was like a barrier I couldn't break.
No doubt.
But clearly they're not going back. So it's neither drop the whole franchise as a whole or just stop bitching and play this one.
I feel that. And of course, we have our most technical gaming lord, the solo gamer who lives for the single player selfish experience, and also the Sostradamus, Mr. Offline Profile Illuminati, and Lord Patreon of the Iron Bank. Also, leader of the Switch hate movement, and is the president of third-party games remaining 360p on the Nintendo Switch.
I like that one. I like that one a lot.
My man, Lord Sob, how you doing, sir?
I have no comment. That's
Deathsinger going in on us. Oh my God, Deathsinger's going in on us.
I don't know. Maybe Deathsinger got something going on that we don't know.
I know. Yeah. Deathsinger hacking our private accounts or something.
He's on your Twitter, and it's really you're part of that Switch hate movement. We just don't know it. You're living a double life, man. You need to stop it.
No, bro.
What's going on, son? What you been playing, man?
Chilling, man. Doing well. Doing well. My Yankees got out of Boston with a W. I'm happy about that.
Already know. Already know.
Yeah, been playing most. I had to say, man, Lara Croft got thrown in the bushes, and I'm sorry. Laura. I'll get back to you, but that Horizon and then Assassin's Creed, man, like Horizon, Assassin's Creed just took over, and that was that. Like,
hit you with the 1-2.
Yeah, man. Laura got put to the side, but Laura, I'll get to it.
Any
Laura never loses
games on Switch you've been playing? According to Deathsinger?
I don't know. Switch has been in the bushes too, to be honest, man. And yo, I've been so amped to like I haven't been working as many hours the past couple of weeks, so I've been so amped to get home and play my console stuff. That this Forza and this Assassins. That honestly, like I'm on lunch break, I'm not really even playing. I'm not playing Switch. I'm like,
Nintendo need that upgrade already so they can start getting those games. They game up. Their legs look weak. Somebody ain't giving them. They ain't need their string beams.
No doubt. So that's been pretty much it, so?
That's pretty much it. Yeah.
No doubt. All right. And of course, we have the Incredible Hulk of this, aka the Excess Gamer.
Ooh.
The Lord of Combat Sports, who is a man of his convictions, demands nothing less than that premium experience, and is the leader of the Fraud Alert movement.
Ooh.
Also, Lord of the Who Did That For You movement, leader of the PlayStation Classic and Brony movement, and official spokesman of why the Nintendo Switch is the greatest console ever. Beloved, Lord King.
Yo, that is my dude. That is my dude. And I told him don't let anybody know about that, and he just sat there and ran his mouth. I was supposed to be letting that go on Combat Talk this afternoon, and this is what I get for running my mouth. I knew I shouldn't have said anything.
Look, man, you can't be telling our secrets away like that, okay? Like,
you know, sometimes when you sipping on that water, you know, you gotta be careful. You might let something slip. You know, hey, never know.
What it was is no one knows that, but he was at E3 and he gave that extra drink to King David and got all the information.
Got all the tea. I spilled all the tea. I shouldn't have did that.
Dope, man. We gonna get into anything you've been playing?
Well, this week it's been a very crazy week because from jumping in between getting my characters up to 600 in Destiny to getting my Spider-Man time in. I don't hear you saying anything about my Spider-Man time addict, man. What's good? I got all those book bags, my dude. I open up everything. I don't hear you saying nothing about my little achievements, my dude. Like you got a lot of your mouth be running very hard. Did you finish? Did you do? Yeah, you on my timeline. You looking in my joint. You like, hey, what's going on? I want you to understand. When a game, listen, you can see my achievements pop up. I'm pretty sure when a game is worthy of your time.
Yeah, it's called
money. And money. You know
I can't with you. I cannot with you.
Dude, get the play.
Oh my! You see what you're in for, Al? You see what you're in for, Al? Boogie?
Yo, y'all hilarious.
Little Spidey don't like you not respecting.
I'm not respecting. He over here looking like Dr. Evil.
No. Explain me how I didn't respect.
Nah, because you always sitting there commentating on, King, are you gonna finish something? King, are you gonna get it done? King, I'm just done this. No, because I'm getting everything out of it. Unlike you talking about, I don't want all the book bags. I don't want all the book bags.
Like you Dr. Evil, King. They go in there.
I know, man. I
don't want all the book bags. I want all them book bags. I want all the book bags.
Tell you, he gonna sit there and say God of War was a worse
in the game. Bushes. It's in the bushes. Check it out. All right. So I was playing the Forza, which looks incredible. It looks insane. Like that's the Gamepass. Oh, brothers, some people's lives are over. And then I was playing Octopath Traveler, went in on that a little bit. I gotta get that done. I really like that game.
Dusted
like,
off
I gotta
the
get
Switch.
that game.
Deathsinger telling the truth.
I told you he was inside my DMs.
So you've been doing the Octopath? You've been getting it on?
Yeah, I did that, and then it was like one more other game that I was trying to squeeze in there. But these dudes, every time I get on, man, I get messages, man, and they hit me up. Oh, shout out to you frauds. You
fraud
frauds.
alert.
Oh, y'all went to your account, found out you wasn't on ILP anymore, right?
Oh my God.
All of a sudden now y'all like, help, LordCognito. I checked my account and I've been booted. Yeah, I told you
for no reason though. Some people got
but you know what? Sometimes listen, when you spray that Uzi, sometimes casualty had to happen. So,
Thanos the whole clan.
Yo, I stood there and said, I said, I told you, you better start jumping inside people parties. You better start inviting and talking to people. Oh, you didn't want to do it, right? Oh, I didn't see your name. This is how I chose who got. You ain't never jump in my party. I ain't see your name.
So word of advice for future clan members and for current ones, just stay active. Obviously, we know about that. But yeah, we do want to promote. King is right from the sense that we do want to promote people engaging with each other. Like, so if there's someone on that clan roster, please reach out. Also, like I said, King, tag myself, all the guys that you see are on, because at the end of the day, we don't want it to be a situation where it was now, where it's like everybody's kind of in their own pocket with their own little 2 or 3 people. We're a clan.
It should be no LFG in anything. When I see a clan member LFG and somebody for Nightfall, and we have 3 pages of people, you don't need to be there. You need to go.
Lady Delilah's in the chat. She said, I played as early as next week. She said, I hope I'm still on. Or she said she's good now. Okay. You ain't get sniped.
Lady Delilah, I'm gonna tell you, Lady Delilah, I'm gonna tell you, because you was on the fence, but you family though. See, that's the thing. You family, so you got that pass. I looked, I was like, nah, her. Let's go skip down next one. No, not her. Because your name came up, and I was like, nah,
shout out to Rage Virus. Shout out to Reaper. They caught mad bullets for no reason. And they be in my journey. I want to give them a shout out. You know what I'm saying? Also, not Buddha Time. Who's it? My man Tipsy, Lord Tipsy. He was in there. He's like, yo, I got caught out there,
I think Buddha Time got it too. I think
Halo asked me last night because he was playing. He's like, why am I not in the clan? I was like, I don't even know, man.
Exactly. See, what it is they do the shooting, but I gotta speak to the families. See, that's the problem. I got to deal with the repercussions.
Yo, listen, I understand. Like, they call you, they say, LordCognito, I was out here frauding, and the fraud police caught me. Yeah, you got caught.
Just because they don't play with you don't mean they don't play with other people in the clan.
You better be glad you ain't get it. I had that snipe on your neck, too. I was like this. I was looking.
For the youngest, see you mad.
I was in the bushes. Yo, Cognito, I was in the bushes. I saw Lord Addict name pop up. I said just like this.
Oh, it's a good thing I'm an admin. The only person that can kick admins is Cognito.
Everybody know how to get back in, how to wiggle back in. They make Cognito help.
And guess what you got, King? That's
it. I'm good, man. We gotta go.
We gotta go. And of course, we have the gaming ninja himself, LordCognito. Also, leader of the Nintendo Labo is Game of the Generation Club, supporter of Amiibos for Happy Meals movement, and the Lord who agrees Life of Black Tiger is the very best game on PS4. The Shinobi, LordCognito.
What is going on?
He's killing me. That's
I ain't know about your Labos, though.
Yo, shout out to Def, man. Taking advantage of the Patreon team.
Man, I feel like he low-key went to our therapist or something like that. Was like, tell me all the juicy stuff.
Def listens to the show. He was very meticulous with these intros. He told me exactly what he wanted for every Lord. So shout out to him. Like I said, this is open to all the Lords. It's one of our Patreon tiers. If you want to do a silly intro for us, as long as it's respectful, you know what I'm saying? We all down for it. It was good fun. So yeah, man, for me, obviously, it's been Destiny 2. I've been a lot of Crucible, as Lady Lboogie knows.
Yeah.
I've been really grinding. I'm trying to get that Redrix girl. Like I really want that.
I thought you was trying to get that Malfeasant. You didn't.
I've been doing
Gambit. Getting the meatball.
Yeah, but here's the thing: I don't get the meatball. The boss don't never come out. I've been doing.
I haven't gotten them either.
Yeah, so I've been.
I know somebody that got them on the second trial.
To be honest with you, I've gotten to the point if I don't have 3 people to go into Gambit with, I won't even touch it.
Oh, no, I'm nice again, bro. I'm nice. Like
know what? It's not that. It's just like
so stupid.
It's not that. It's if you go in there with random people and you even play a semi-competent team, the moment their primeval pops up, they're gonna kill them instantly.
See, but here's the thing: like as the warlock with the well. What I do is I'll place it in the back of the map. First of all, I used to sleep at the counter people invading. I put the thing in the back of the map, and I got the looter faction boot. So if you jumping in my bubble, you're gonna get protected. You ain't gonna get melted by the primeval and all the little blockers, and you do an extra damage. So it's like my whole thing. I play nothing but solo queue. Like I haven't played Gambit with anyone. Like I've been and literally winning. Like my rank is crazy, but it's just that class for whatever reason is really good. For that
support class now. Yeah.
So even if they semi-competent, they realize, oh man, he got a bubble. Oh, he got the Lunar faction. They could just keep reloading. So that kind of thing has been going on for me with that.
If it's not my if it's not my daily, I'm not going. I'm with that.
I know what I did. We jumped on you. Was like, I got Gambit. I gotta do it.
I used to play it all the time. You know, without other people. But once you do it once, and you're just like, how? Like I've literally had it to where we summon the primeval first, and they summoned theirs like 3 minutes later, and they melted him so fast.
Oh, I got it. Want me to tell you the hustle?
Well, no, I know the hustle. It's just I'm not communicating with the other 3 people.
To do the hustle. Yeah, right. I feel you.
What you said, L? I'll cut you off. L.
Oh, I was saying that I have the same problem. Like you go in and people act like they don't know what they're doing. Like people getting caught with 15 motes, still trying to kill people, still dying. Like, what are you doing? As soon as you have 15, take your ass to the well. Like,
exactly. People doing too much.
Yeah, and then people don't know what to do. Like you're like,
I blame it on the bounties.
YouTube out there for you.
I agree with King. I feel like their bounties should be restructured to a point because I feel like it's kind of like completely defeating the purpose of having teamwork when you're asking people to use guns they don't normally play with. You're asking all this nonsense that people don't even do. So now you probably the first couple days of every week, it's like literally they're gonna be playing with stuff you know for a fact they don't care about. So it hurts that powerful you got to do it. It's a bad experience for me. It's a bad experience for the people playing. Like,
or you catch that dude that did his bounty and he just bounce out and leave you in the middle of the map. I'm out.
That's dirty.
Yeah, I done got I done banked my I got my high level game. I'm out of here. I just sit there like, are you serious, bro? It's just me in a match.
So yeah, it's just been that. Like I said, I'm so mad. I still haven't got a chance to really touch Forza Horizon because the day I was ready to play, I'm stupidly did the backward download from the app, but when I came home, I thought it was already installed, and that thing is like what 60 gigs or whatever.
Yeah.
So I was like, damn, and then I got back on Destiny, and also obviously this is the police too, so you know that's been going on. So we're gonna do a little brief. I'm gonna have to spare you, Lboogie. Though we have to do a brief UFC recap. Obviously, this is a big.
I know what happened, but go ahead.
Oh, okay, I got it because I don't want to bore you to tears. But we got the Lord to talk about it.
I like that.
You see that Combat Talk King is here. There's King in the room.
Combat Talk King has returned, and he's been requested, and yeah, let's just get into it. I want to start with Sov real quick. Sov, did you see, before we get into the main card, which is what everybody here for, but did you see the other fights on the undercard side?
No, I missed all the undercard because I was out with the Lords. I was out with Lord Kai Batu, Lord Marlonis. I took one for the team.
Yes, so
went out there.
We refunded our Venom tickets to you.
You had that popcorn? You had the good popcorn? That's good. I got you that premium popcorn.
Delicious.
So you saw Venom. Were you pleased, spoiler free? Were you pleased?
It wasn't like, I don't think it deserves that 33 Rotten Tomatoes. Like I thought it was a serviceable movie. I mean, we've seen far worse. Like Fantastic Four, Green Lantern, considerably worse movies. This movie, it was slow. But once it got to the Venom stuff, it was cool. And I thought Tom Hardy was a good Eddie Brock and a good Venom. I thought his voice would annoy me. It was a little weird. But, I mean, the dynamic between him and the symbiote was good. I thought it was fine. It was fine.
I think, to be honest with you, from like what I've seen, I think the fact that you know, it's based off Spider-Man and they're coming off the Spider-Man hype and there's not Spider-Man in it.
That's it.
Might have hurt the movie overall.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
it was like God of War that didn't have Spider-Man in it.
But so the answer, the short answer is no. I missed all
right, so let me do the recap.
All I saw was the co-main event and the main event.
All right. You know, first of all, UFC as a card, it was absolutely lit. You know what I'm saying? Undercards. I'm just going to talk about some of the key ones for me. Obviously, Derek Lewis versus the Russian cat. I forget his last name right now. That was arguably, I could easily have been fight of the night. Great fight, back and forth. He busted Derek Lewis's orbital bone. He couldn't see. Like, it was bad. It was looking bad for Derek. There was a couple times where he was getting hit and he's completely turning away. So I was just ready to rip him. Like, first of all, your cardio is terrible and you're looking bad. And then in the third round, shout out to Buddha, know what I'm talking about. He caught him with a two-piece that was so crazy. Linked this boy back. And he was getting dominated pretty much the whole fight. And shout out to Derek Lewis because he had one of the funniest post-intro interviews I've ever seen. Like, because goes up to him, he's like, yeah, so how'd you feel? And he's like, yo, Donald Trump called me and told me we got to get these Russians out of here. So, and I'm like, bro. Then, not even that. Like, right after he wins, like, he takes his UFC fighting shorts off. He's just in his boxers. So they like, what's up with that? He's like, yeah, my balls is hot. And I'm like, what is going on with this guy? Like, it was a crazy fight. His post interview was insane. Please watch that. It's on YouTube. It's everywhere.
Wow.
Yeah. Lady Infamous.
I'm not gonna look at my balls as hot guy. The balls as hot guy is not gonna get checked out. He's done.
No, you gotta check him out.
He made amends for the Francis Ngannou fight. Like this. You
know what it is? You know what it is? So Cycle in the chat. Black Peas. Yeah, always got the interviews. See, the thing is, he still looked bad, and I was ready to rip. I'm like, how you can still look bad after the Ngannou? And I know he got caught in the eye. He thought it was a poke, and Herb Dean was just letting them rock. So I'm just like, all right, bad officiating all the way around. He looks bad. I'm ready to go off on him on Twitter. And literally the last round, two-piece, he kept catching him with the right hand, and then he two-pieced him and linked him. It was crazy. So that was that. Fight of the night, though, in my opinion, forget the main, Showtime versus your mans. You know what I'm saying? El Kakui. Let me tell you right now, that was Tony Ferguson. That was the fight of the night. That fight, they started hot and heavy. They were talking that mess. Showtime was looking like classic Showtime. He was creative. He was doing all his innovative strikes. But your man, Tony Ferguson, was in it too. And he his pressure
That's
game.
the dancing dude? The dude that came up and he was dancing. He did the movie. He did it like that to his face at the weigh-in? That's the dude?
I think, Tony's
and he
a little
had
crazy.
the headset on. He was like, ooh.
I didn't see that weigh-in, so I don't know if he
I got to see that joint because his dad swag that he had going on in there. I was like, I got to watch.
Probably Showtime with the headset.
No. Showtime was the one. He the little dude that was up there. Was like, and then the other dude came up and he was just on some old. I'm about to go to the beach after this, but I'm gonna knock you out, and I want to know if he won.
Ferguson's the one with the crazy cauliflower ears.
Yeah, he got the crazy cauliflower and the big ears. Shout out to Slow Mo. Lewis waited until the last 20 seconds to fight. Yeah, definitely. But that was a fight of the night. I mean, Showtime looked like Showtime. He caught Tony in the beginning and really rocked Tony, almost had him out of there. Somehow the fight got stopped in the middle because of a cut open on Showtime's head. But even though he wasn't really hurt, the cut was that bad. So once they kind of resumed, Tony got his legs, and let me tell you, Sav, his pressure game, his
pressure game is insane.
His walk you down,
his I don't care.
I don't care.
Stand in front of you.
Yes, his I don't care what you doing. I'm on you. Like that's why I looked at him like, okay, because he's in the same division. He should most likely get the winner of Conor and Khabib. And I'm like, okay, now I see what people talking about.
Nobody wants that winner.
Yeah, and then he's coming off the knee injury, so he looked good. And Showtime was testing that knee. Showtime started off taking him in the knee, so we was like, "Whoa, this saying how it's gonna go." But that was a great fight. And then we get to the main event.
Here we go. Now I'm here. That's why I'm here. That's
what combat talk is here. King laid it down. You know what I'm saying? Now, King, you want to start off, or want me to set it off with my feeling on it?
I just want to start off what I told you.
Yes, you did.
I told you that boy get on the floor and he swim like a fish in water. He get on that floor. 3 seconds into the fight, Conor throws a jab. He said, okay, cool. Slips to the left. Conor goes to throw the right. Guess who's on the floor with Conor? That dude. That dude. He got that ankle. He said, nah, bro. Conor the whole night had the face that everybody has that fight Floyd. What the hell is going on? What the hell is going on? Man. Yo, his capture your 2 legs, his capture of the 2 legs, and then
he doesn't let go.
He doesn't let
go.
See, LordCognito privied me to this little information. Your man's wrestles bears as a baby. Your man's no, listen. When I tell you Khabib wrestles bears as a baby, and I said, nah, he's joking. No, there's actual footage of your man's wrestling a bear as a child. As a child. Like, who puts their child to wrestle a bear? That's one. His daddy crazy. All right? So that's one. But, all right. And just to give you a little bit more insight to understanding exactly his press conference at the end, when he said, you don't talk about a man's religion, you don't talk about a man's country, and you don't talk about a man's daddy. Your boy Conor did all 3 of those things. All right? Now, he messed with Russian gangsters. Conor brought that up. Your boy, he said he got finance. He was down with the movement. Conor, see, Conor is a flashy entertainment dude. He's the entertainment dude. Remember, LordCognito, remember when Evander Holyfield was fighting Mike Tyson, going to fight Mike Tyson? This was the shades of the same thing. And we always knew, me and Cognito always knew, Holyfield was going to beat the brakes off of Mike Tyson when it get rough and ready. It was just going to happen.
Stylistically, we always saw it.
Inside that man, there was dog inside that man. And he was going to rip you apart, given the chance. I saw Khabib. I saw 7 fights. I sat there. I talked to LordCognito the night before. I watched 7 fights of him. Because he asked me, he said, what do you think? I said, I gotta be respectful and watch this man's last 7 fights to see exactly. And I'm sitting there, I'm doing the check marks. And I said, this man is the devil.
I'm done.
This man is not the man that you want to be with, because every puzzle, every Rubik's Cube that was sent to him, because they probably tried to snipe him to get him out of there because he's boring. He's boring. He wins. He's boring. He wins. He solved it. He changes the Rubik's Cube every time for every color to match. You're not gonna beat him unless he gets tired and old. That's it.
Let me jump in, man, because I thought the fight was I was checking out how, like, emotionally how these dudes came into the ring and all that, and I thought the energy was good, you know what I'm saying, on both sides. Khabib looked confident, kind of had his little swag going. He did the strut. I'm like, okay, you know what I'm saying? So when they get it on, you know, I actually thought kind of did a good round. So did you watch the main event?
Yeah,
the 3rd round.
I thought the first round kind of did very well, as far as better than I thought he would do defensively.
Distance and actually, although Khabib got the takedown, I thought that Conor did well trying to scramble out of the takedown.
And I felt he didn't take any damage. And I felt he wasn't exerting a lot of energy when he was down. I'm like, okay,
I got to yell fraud on that right there. I got to yell fraud on that. I got to yell fraud on it because I watched the fight 6 times this morning. I fell asleep watching it again. It's on repeat upstairs. No, go look at it again.
I watched it 3 times too. He was not wasting it. He wasn't getting caught, and he wasn't wasting energy.
The issue there is that Khabib was on him, so he's making him carry his weight. So he's exerting some energy there. But the fact that he didn't take a lot of physical punishment helped him a lot.
Khabib didn't throw any real punches in that first round. He was just I thought, honestly, I really think this guy had a checklist. Like, really, I think he was that sadistic that he had a checklist and said he was going to follow this checklist until the finishing. Until the bare naked choke.
I think he's definitely methodical that way. I think what surprised me is when he was willing to stand. The moment he stood with Conor and he caught Conor, I said it's over.
The key. Shout out to Dax in the chat, because that's when I knew the fight now is going a whole different direction. Because first of all, his ego wanted to show that, hell, I'm not going to run from you on stand up. 2, I got to make you respect me up here. So that's the thing. When you catch a striker if you're a wrestler, but you catch the striker now is messed up. You know what I'm saying? Emotionally, because now he's got to look at the takedown and he's got to look at, you know what I'm saying? If you're going to, you're all exactly. So completely agree with you there. So round 2 changed the fight. That cracking of Conor, big time. And then the only thing I was going to say, and I'll let you go, Saab, is that round 3, I actually thought, first of all, Conor
did good.
Conor did good for getting up. He was tired. And I was like, okay, he's getting takedowns off. And Khabib looked like he was slowing a little bit. That was the only chance, in my opinion, Conor had to win. Round 3. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. After that, he did his stamina was done. And I gotta call it. I gotta call it how I gotta call it. So I'm like, he quit. He wanted out of there. It wasn't even a serious choke. It was a neck crank.
Neck crank.
Yeah, not saying that don't hurt. All I'm saying,
getting choked out.
Yeah, he could breathe. He could breathe. He wanted out. We saw that with Nate Diaz, because when Nate finally got him down and he's tired, he wants out. I gotta call
that. You know why? You know why? Because Conor has been, he's been quoted many a time saying, you know what? Nobody can stop me in there.
Exactly.
I can go all day. And as soon as Nate got around that neck, done. As soon as Khabib got around that neck, done.
Can't respect that.
I gotta respect the fear the throat choke. Like he probably got a real fear the throat choke. Like y'all not really sitting there respecting the man's fear the throat choke.
I hear that. If you touting yourself as the number 1,
can't talk that.
He's selling tickets though. He's selling tickets.
I get that. But he's not that dude.
Exactly. With the mouth that he got, he can't. They gotta drag you out. Shout out to Bisbing. He get leaned out or he get choked all the way. He talk his talk, and that's that.
Yep.
It's all right. Listen, I'm gonna give you the skinny on your man Conor. Conor got fat off those Mayweather bucks.
Of course.
And when he was standing up there at the weigh-in, I'm not looking at a dude's butt, but I saw cheekage, right?
Yeah,
and his cheek was too heavy. He had too much butt meat.
I'm done.
I went and saw and trust me, I went and saw previous fights. And I said, that's it. The weigh-in, he made weight, but the weight wasn't super conditioned weight. And for a fight where if he was off with striking, because it looked like he was off every time he tried to time him to get him with a strike. Like he'll land a strike, but it was like a couple of milliseconds off. And I told you, if he's milliseconds off of this and Khabib is actually able to counter, which he did, because he threw the right and Khabib countered with his right and dropped him. And I said, oh God. I said, sorry. I said, this is it right here, because like LordCognito said, when you strike a striker, that's an extra fear. I saw fear in the eyes of Conor. He tried to walk it off. He tried to show some bravado in the fight to show you.
Well, they said he looked it out of character, not his normal. You know, we know it got personal. Let's wrap this up. Let's get into the real reason of the thing, which is, the aftermath. Obviously, shout out to Fonzarelli, Mikey Barra, what you call it, my boy Doc, what's his name, man? Doc from Xbox. That's my homie, man.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And we were talking, everyone was talking last night, and J-Dub. And, I felt strongly about it. And here's the thing, people are like, yo, and I've seen, shout out to Matt on my timeline, they're like, yo, we can't get mad at Khabib because look at what Conor did, look at the bus and all that. But here's where y'all lose me at. My thing is, listen, y'all both was doing gangster-ish prior, right? One of y'all, Khabib's dude, this whole thing started, King, is Khabib's dudes rolled up on.
I know.
Dude, you know what I'm saying? Conor got the word. He flew the private jet out. He came with the 40 goons. That's how the bus thing started. He told Khabib to come out. Whatever reason he didn't come out or whatever, that's how the bus thing. Conor gets locked up, right? Let's not forget that. Conor gets locked up. He got to do
paid $3.5 million.
Right. Word. Then he comes to this joint. Conor's talking reckless with him about his family, his religion. Not saying that's right. I get it. My thing is, you just proved to the world, Khabib, you're that dude, right? You destroyed this dude. You made him quit. And I had no problem with him standing over him, talking to him, spitting at him.
Did you have a problem with him when he spit in his face?
Had no problem. I'm like, I get that.
Right.
You know why? You know why? Because they had their beef outside and then went in and they fought the fair one.
They fought the fair one. You made this dude quit, right? Boom. Then you go over, you throw the mouthpiece at the dude in the. I still got no problem with that. Now, when you jump out do some somersault kick or whatever you doing get out there with his fans and the governor there.
Kick that I've seen from the top rope that wasn't part of WWE in my life. Shout out to Khabib.
You know what I'm saying? So he does the wild kick, comes out, he getting it on with the BJJ, Connor's BJJ guy, right? What are you doing, fam? Then you get back, your man's now, one jumps over the rope to set it on Connor. Connor spits out on whatever, they about to get it popping. Then his other man's jumps in and stole on Connor from behind, right? What are y'all really doing? Like, here's my
I'm
thing.
gonna give you this.
Let me finish. I get it. Emotions is high. The dude is wild, disrespectful with the mouth. You beat him. He was talking crazy. I get that, but here's where y'all lose me. One, don't mess with the money. Your purse is revoked now. Your purse is revoked. Now you're not from this country. Your visa's in question. Now your people's is locked. You know what I'm saying? And the two of them is fighters. They're fighters. They already said they're never fighting on UFC again. You just blew your cash. Now we still didn't even get the word from the Nevada State Athletic Commission. Because at the end of the day, dude's getting suspended. Yeah. That's fact. So at the end, Khabib's getting suspended. So whether it's going to be 6 months or if it's a year, and if it's a year, guess what? They're stripping him. You know what I'm saying? So think about what you really doing here. Now, if it's on a pure gangster level, I get it. We all, you know what I'm saying? We from, Lords are from, where we're from. We understand what that was. We know what that, King, I know what you're about to say. We know what that was. And from street rules, justified. I get that. But you got to be bigger than that. You're messing with the money. This is your moment and you ruined it. That's just how I feel about it, bro.
That's them roids.
You ready for my take on it?
I'm sorry, King. Yeah, go ahead, King. Go for it.
No. There's no need to be sorry because you're talking exactly from the heart, and exactly from the heart is what you're saying is true. You're talking from the Dana White position, and like normally I'm on my Dana White, ish. I'm just sitting there like, yo, keep that money cool. Don't do that. Nah. This is the way you beat a bully. Conor can never talk again in that ring.
Oh, no question. I know what that was. We know what that was.
You was at that bus. You was on that bus action. Bus action is crazy, right? You was on that bus action. I threw my hands. I came. You send me your location. I show up. I got you.
You can't be doing the kind of impression like that.
And, okay. And he said, and the whole time Khabib was a gentleman all the way through. Till he got him in that ring. He said, I got you. I saw when he grabbed him. And
Khabib was talking to him
during the fight.
The whole beatdown. Yeah. In that second round, when he was dumping him in a corner, when he was standing over, raining bombs from heaven on top of Conor's head, I know what he was doing. He was dragging his soul out his body.
Oh, absolutely.
Then he stood up. And he
stood up over him. See, I stood up over him.
Exactly.
But you know what he did?
Everything that happens in that circle, in that octagon, everything that happens in there is good. I'm about what happened afterwards. Now, y'all might say,
the gangster-ish.
You know what it is. You might say, man, that's messed up, King. People could have been hurt. Exactly. Let me tell you something. I don't like people that run their mouth and then when action happens, you ain't about that action. Conor was cool. He got beat up inside the ring. It was nothing happening to Conor. Conor climbed up on top of the top rope. He saw his man's fighting. He saw Khabib's man up there. He looked and said, I'm going to snuff him. He got his snuff on. Khabib man looked at him and said, you again? Started to proceed to hit him. Khabib's brother saw from the outside what Conor did. Came over the back. They proceeded to work that man over because he didn't learn what happened in the ring. Sit down in the corner. Thug stuff happens. This is thug stuff. Now, Khabib, when you take a guy and his adrenaline is high,
yes, I agree.
You can't force somebody who is in savage mode and you keep antagonizing them He threw his mouthpiece. He faked out the red guard and got over there and gave you 2 feet to your head. Shout out to the dude who caught the 2 feet in the mouth before the beatdown went down.
Because the governor was there.
You know what? Shout out to Vladimir Putin for calling Khabib right after and said, "I got your bail money." It's good. It's a go. All right.
But here's the problem. His fighting, his purse is not a go. His visa is not a go.
I'm pretty sure.
It's not.
I'm pretty sure Vladimir Putin got his money.
He ain't got nothing to do. Vladimir Putin ain't got nothing to do with the Nevada State Athletic Commission.
That's cool. You know, Khabib knew that going in. When you do gangster things, you gotta fall on your sword. Like I tell you before, nobody's beating that man.
Yeah, my issue is this: he unnecessarily made himself a villain when he's not that dude.
But he was foreign. He's foreign.
I got you, but he can't maintain that mantle. Connor can maintain the mantle. Like he villainized himself right now. That's not how he's gonna be moving forward. He can't hold that. That's not who he is, right?
Crazy thing, so Connor ain't even pressed charge because you know he could have pressed charge. They
went to him.
They was like, "Yo, you can
like King said, Connor should not, after this fight, he should not be able to say another word."
Exactly.
But by what Khabib did, he gave him that uprising again.
Exactly. Because now what everybody talking about, yo, the rematch gonna be lit.
Yeah, Connor.
It ain't gonna be no rematch.
It doesn't matter. If he had just beaten him the way he beat him and stood over him dominantly and just stared at his corner and just walked away, it would have been.
I like the scrum.
Belt on him,
it would have been. Yeah,
I like the scrum
on him. Good, King. Let's
he messed up.
Are we good? I like the scrum. I don't care what you say.
No, you see, I already talking more about the scrum. We got to shut the bully up, and you got to pick
I got to take him off of here. And then he got to the press conference with no apology. He said, "Why are we talking about the gate though? I'm not talking about when he was at the bus." He said, "Why we keep talking about this gate? The gate just happened. Why are we talking about me hopping over the gate though?" He said he disrespected everything. And what he told you, we're not saying it because he was unapologetic. See, he dropped the mic up. Don't you ever talk to a real thug about his religion, about his father, and about his country. Because a real thug is going to break you down inside and outside.
I feel you. Just always understand there's repercussions for that act. That's all.
I feel
if you're going to play gangster, you got to understand the repercussions.
I feel like at the end of the day, he's okay for those repercussions. Like,
he's good with it. Yeah,
I'm with that.
I feel like he definitely hates
like, it's perfect for me to do this to kind of based on everything I went through, and he gonna feel at work. I get it. I know what it is.
Like to be completely honest with you, like the stuff that Connor did with that bus, if that would have been anyone else, they would have been out.
And shout out to J-Dub because he made a point, which is, and the UFC, let's be real, they've been enabling Connor, and that they use that in the promotion for this fight. So we gotta keep that. We can't absolve them. They've been benefiting off the Connor train. You know what I'm saying?
To be completely honest with you, I'm not down for Connor getting no repercussions.
But
he
didn't do nothing though.
But he hit that dude first.
He punched that guy. He didn't have to do that.
If Connor would have just sat there, didn't hit that dude wouldn't have jumped over the fence because he saw his man get hit. Like
they already did the first part of the investigation. They didn't take Connor's purse. They already said they revoking.
I get that. But at the end of the day, they were looking more at the dude who jumped over, which they should.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, yo, why didn't Connor get repercussions for he wasn't even part of jumping over the fence. He tried to jump over the fence, but they grabbed him first. And then when he couldn't do it, he hit the dude for no reason. And he got no repercussions.
Well, we'll see what happens.
Yo, he got repercussions. Actions happened on him. I saw the best body work the whole night right there in that corner.
So let's get into this bitch.
That dude got down off the fence. I personally don't think his fighting career should be over for that. That wasn't his fault that Connor hit his ass.
They didn't say that. Right now, there's an investigation.
No. Dana White said the people who jumped in that octagon
they're gone. They're done.
Fight again.
Yeah, they're done.
And I personally, I agree with the one that gave Connor that body pieces. I agree with that because that dude jumped over there specifically.
Both of them jumped
that
in.
Whole
it was two. The dude that Connor sat on,
but the first one
jumped in the ring. You can't do that. Can't jump.
Everyone jumped in that ring.
The dude who threw the dolly into the bus into the window, that dude should have never fought again. But being that he's bringing bucks to the stadium,
it's a double standard.
They find a way to get him at the letter of the
he shouldn't have went in that ring. I get it. He went over there. He jumped on top of that. He wasn't causing no one no issues. He was on top of the ring.
In the ring and you approach a dude, you gonna get stolen.
But he didn't approach him. He was on top of the
He approached it and Connor snuffed him.
No, that was the second one. No, that dude didn't even see him there. He wasn't even looking at Connor.
Yeah, Cognito, I'm gonna send you. I'm gonna send you the circled on footage. Yeah, because they got the circled on footage on this dude. Yeah, it's good. It was just a good combat talk after this. I got you.
Listen, Solve. Let's get into this Patreon, bro.
Let's go. Time to pay the bills that time of month once again. As you guys are fully aware, the Iron Bank.
I want to say something real quick before you do it. I really appreciate everyone. You know, I've been noticing the increase, and I appreciate everyone that really supports us. Like, Lock on the Real, I do appreciate that.
No doubt. Go ahead. Go ahead, Carl.
As you guys are fully aware, the Iron Bank is susceptible to influence of the monetary persuasion. If that PayPal is not on fleek, you are not in the running. With that out of the way, thank you all. Thank you to all our patrons.
No doubt.
Right, so let's go. Let's give our thanks. So let's start off.
What we got?
With Lord Corey Lydick himself, Lord Whiskey. Thank you so much for the support.
Shout out to Whiskey.
The PlayStation bra. Woo! Thank you, man.
Got shout out to the new bra on the way. I seen it. The new bra's coming.
Kareem H. Oh yeah, congratulations, bro. Thank you. Yes, that's right. That's right.
Congratulations.
Lord Kareem H. Thank you for the support. Much appreciated.
Well, now salute Kareem. That's the new joint.
Yep, absolutely. New Patreon member. Lord Chris Williams, thank you so much.
Woo! Salute. Thank you.
Monkey Punch himself, Lord Michael Lugo.
Monkey Punch, what's going on, bro? Thank you.
The Lord of Back Compat himself, Mr. Bill Stillwell. Thank you, sir.
Lord, salute. Protector of the realm right there. The Great Wall. Yeah. Salute.
Lord Ricky Moore.
Yes.
Second week in Patreon. Thank you so much.
Appreciate you, Ricky. Thank you so much.
Lord Spoonman.
I didn't see him today. I didn't see him in the chat today. Shout out to Spoonman. He be rapping, man.
Yeah, I know. I'm sure he probably is. Lord J. Fonz.
My man.
Brother.
My man, Fonz.
T-minus 2.5 weeks and counting till greatness arrives, J. Fonz.
Yeah, I read that. So, yeah, I read that. What else we got?
The Stream Team's own Lord Snaldo.
Yo, check out his Scum review, man. Very good. It's up on the Iron Lord Podcast channel.
Yo, I gotta give him the biggest.
Hold on, back up.
Respect.
Yeah, first say what you're gonna say about Snaldo.
I just gotta give him the biggest and the craziest, utmost respect. I love the way that you have taken control of certain things and you have worked your way, sir. I do salute you, and I probably don't say it as much because I had to mute that chat because you loose in there. But I must say, I do appreciate everything. You and Lboogie is like the glue, and I really appreciate you guys. I swear you have no idea.
Big time. And I want to shout out to Chris Williams, aka Lord Fastback. That's who that was.
Oh, that's Fastback.
The government was out there, so
you know what? It's right.
He put it out there. He put it out there. That's AKA. So salute. That's our Tick brethren, and you know what I'm saying. NLG fam, always in the chat, always been supportive from day one. Salute. Let's go for it.
What we have next? Lord Loaded Pixels, the code. The code bearer. Brother. We're back to kindergarten. Thank you, brother. And much appreciated.
Since third grade, bro.
Yeah, man. With me, since kindergarten with me. We got Lord Cat Daddy Fat Stack. Thank you so much. I know he was in the chat. I think he had to go. But
you hit the road, so you're gonna catch a second.
Hit the road. You're gonna catch us later. But thank you, Lord Cat Daddy. Lord Snail Killer himself, Diago Patra.
Wow, he's in there. Salute, Diago. What's up? That's my guy. Always talking sports. Giving me mess about my Niners. What else we got?
The Lord of Intros, the Lord Deathsinger himself.
Woo! Yo, Dev, I'm gonna get you back for that,
Thank you.
man.
So yeah, we got you, Dev. We got you, brother.
No doubt.
And last and absolutely not least, the Lord of Coding himself, Lord Optimus Code. Thank you.
Yo, that dude is so knowledgeable, man. Salute to Optimus Code, the OG, schooling us.
Check out his channel. He's always got super entertaining content. He gets down. He gets
busy. So let's see what else we got. We got some winnings. We got some. What else?
So this is game month, so we have a game giveaway in addition to our other game giveaway. So yeah, somebody might get that Red Dead paid for.
All right, let's go. Let's rig these votes like we do.
Rig these votes like we do.
Hope those checks cleared.
My Patreons now. I'm not seeing anything. What's going on?
The greasy palms of the eye.
He got seconds to send that money through.
What's up?
All right, now, so let's start out with this $10 gift card giveaway. And that $10 gift card goes to
There you go.
Lord Spoonman. Congratulations.
Salute Spoonman in the joint. That's what's up.
All right. So give me a second. I have to remove certain lords from this because, guys, I just want to reiterate: just be cognizant of your tiers, like you know, just so you know that certain things once that tier is spoken on, then we move forward and we have to remove certain people. So.
What he's telling you is once your money didn't clear, he's removing you out of that pit.
AKA, get the money right.
All right, now the $20 gift card giveaway, and that goes to Lord Monkey Punch Michael Lugo.
This man winning every month.
I love his luck. I'm gonna let you start picking my lotto numbers.
For real. Yo, I can't even front like really.
The luckiest man alive, Lord Monkey. What else we got?
Okay, give me 1 second. Now we have our T-shirt giveaway.
Okay.
Right.
It is.
Let's go.
Cast.
Cat Daddy. Cat Daddy has like every colorway shirt.
There you go.
Come on, random generator.
To Lord Spoonman yet again.
Wow. Yo, you got the worst random generator. Shout out to Lord Sol with the worst random generator.
It's not random, man. It's that cash stack.
Yo, did they say I was Spoonman or I was Cat Daddy? It was one of the two.
That's your persona.
Again. Salute, man. Salute.
Congrats to Lord Spoonman. Wow, that's crazy.
Yo, Hansel said, again?
What is going on?
Where's it relevant in the chat? And I know Irrelevant's like, man, you guys.
He said he threw his sub in the bushes. He said he threw his Patreon sub in the bushes. What else we got?
Hold on 1 second. There's a few people I have to remove from here. Give me a sec.
Those are people that didn't pay off.
1 second. All right.
And
the winner of our bi-monthly game giveaway is
the game.
Here we go.
This is crazy. It is.
It's the big one.
Daddy.
That's it.
Jay Fonzarelli.
He never won. This seemed legit now. Okay.
Jay Fonz has won recently, man.
Yeah. I think he won a T-shirt. He won a T-shirt the last time.
One time.
Yeah, he won a T-shirt the last time.
And then Optimus Code won something, and he pushed it forward, and Jay Fonz won that.
No, you're right. Matter of fact, it was Optimus Code. Yes. Salute to Jay. This is Jay Fonz's first big one. Okay.
Salute to Jay Fonz. You know what? Yeah. He deserved it.
Yo, Jay Pone is exposing us. Jay Pone boy said Jay Fonz won like 3 times.
Jay Bone, are you part of the Patreon?
Oh, good point.
The Ford police sees you.
Congrats to all the winners. Guys, just hit me up on the DM and we'll get those codes out to you.
You might as well just send Jay Fonz like Diago.
Yeah, but I'm sure he pre-ordered it already, so he probably
he probably wants something else.
But guys, I can't reiterate enough. Thank you so much for all the support. Everybody, every single month. The numbers have been slowly growing. Thank you so much. The one thing I ask of you guys is appreciate you guys being here every Sunday, supporting us on Patreon.
Much appreciated.
Pay it forward, man. Push it forward. Talk about the podcast. Talk about the podcast to people that you don't think may have heard of us. Get the word out there, man. Like really, like you guys, the support you guys give us on a monthly basis, weekly basis is absolutely amazing to us, and we just want to continue for that to grow. So again, thank you so much for everything you guys do.
Absolutely. And I'm just going to double down on what Sav is saying and also now do our special announcement. First of all, thanks to all the Patreon subscribers. It really means a lot that you guys support us, listen to our foolishness, deal with our combat talk. Like Lboogie, like, he'll talk. I'm sorry. I know. She picked the worst episode to debut on it away, but we got to show love. But yeah, so thanks for that. But I definitely want to do a little hear ye with the state of the realm. So I know Lord Sav's made it a point to keep the Patreon subscribers and ILP supporters informed and up to speed. So one of the number one requests that we've got from you guys, and we're finally happy to make it happen, is we're happy to announce that we'll be working with Teespring, and the Iron Lord podcast storefront is now live with all your ILP Royal swag needs. Please check that out. I'm going to put the link in the description. Bam, it's live. Go get that, man. We got everything for you guys, you know what I'm saying? And as far as clothing and the female lords, the kids, you know what I'm saying? The accessories, we've been thinking about the color waves and all that stuff as well. So it's up. If you want to support, and I know, like I said, a lot of you guys did initially, but also a lot of guys we missed because they were like, hey, what's up with that link? So we hear you. It is live. It's called, the first wave is going to be called The Realm of the Lords. We check it out. We got everyone covered. And thank you for your patience on that. It really means a lot to see you guys repping that Iron Lord shield.
Them tights is nice.
Thank you. The legacy. We thought about the
socks, though.
Yo, I'm about to get the socks for myself. So we got a lot of flavors in there. I'm gonna throw it in multiple times and in the chat. And it really, really means a lot to see you guys proud. Wearing the gear, wearing the crest, wearing the Iron Lord shield. You are now in the realm of the Lord. So thank you and salute.
And look out for more interesting takes on this stuff coming down the pipeline. Yes. It's not only going to be the shield. I know the shield's been out there for a minute.
Let me explain.
We got flavor covered. We got heat.
First of all, get in there and get that Jay-Z green. Go get that. Go put your little arms in there, because if you got every color, he said, but I got every color, King. I hear you. You got every color.
Shout out to Deathsinger. Do you love me? Do you hate me? Shout out to you on the Patreon intros, bro. Look, we got to get a show out of the business.
Diago Portal said his girl's asking about Iron Lord's panties. Oh, Lord.
Oh, my God.
We got you. It's coming. But I'm looking at Irrelevant Native. You do fuck nothing.
The way Mayweather's. All right. So now that we got all that out the way, I want to give
you what's funny? There's actually been some stuff that's been coming off on Twitter since the podcast started. Apparently, it looks like they're.
He had to shut them up.
Apparently, Gorilla's hiring for multiplayer, so a lot of people now think Killzone is coming out. And another thing is apparently Crackdown 3 has a release date on the website for the 28th of February, so it's looked like it's been delayed.
A little bit. Oh, okay. So that's the latest from the Crackdown camp.
That would be smart. That'd be smart. Release it on that day. At least give it a week out or 2 weeks, right?
Wasn't it already in February? Like they just said February.
It was on the 22nd. It was on the 22nd.
So maybe like a week.
Days Gone, and you have Metro that day. You have a few other things. So
yeah.
That's probably the only reason why they delayed it, not because it's not ready.
Yeah. So after we got the business out the way, all that good stuff. Thanks for the breaking news, Addict. Let's get into Lady Lboogie, her video game system history, her journey as a protector of the realm in the United States Navy, and of course, what led her to becoming members of both the grown woman gaming and nerditude movements. So Lady Boogie, let's start from the very beginning. What was some of the first video game systems you had? What got you into gaming?
So my dad had me playing the Atari back in the day.
Which one?
I don't even know, because I'm just sitting on the lap with a controller. I have to ask him, really, but my first console that was like my own console was the Nintendo. Playing Duck Hunt on the wall.
Ooh, did you have like did you have the zapper?
Yeah, of course.
Yes, of course.
Yeah. So that was the beginning of my video game journey. Nice. But I've had pretty much every system like throughout the years, or like my cousin had it. So I got to play through the Super Nintendo, the Dreamcast, the Sega, all of it. Like the original Sega. I had the original Sega.
You had the Master System.
Master System. Yeah, that's our talk. Yeah.
Right. So I had the original Sega, and then my cousin got the Dreamcast, but I ended up getting the 1 second, dogs.
the dog said Dreamcast.
Who got that Sega? Pick it up.
The most inopportune time. Yeah, Game Boys. I had the PS Vita. I've had everything really.
Wow, you've had
like
everything. What about some of them, the niche consoles? What about like the let me see, like the TurboGrafx 16, or maybe like a 3DO? I know that's kind of pricey.
Yeah, no.
She's like, nope.
No, I stay pretty much on the mainstream stuff. I mean, because being like poor, your parents like, what is this? Like, I'm not spending money on this. What is this? I don't even see this anywhere. Yeah. But I wish that I was able to keep a lot of those, because now you look back and you're like, I wish I had all these, But yeah, I'm gonna start trying to collect them again.
Chief Tommy in the chat.
Don't do that. Don't do that.
What's your favorite console? What was your favorite back in the day?
I just went last week because I was feeling real nostalgic. Man, my heart started pounding, and I said I'm gonna go get me back my Turbo Duo and go get me my Super Graphics. Then I'm gonna start building back my NEC collection. I saw the prices that they was trying to rate me for. I said, man, if I had a time machine, I could go back and buy them at regular prices. I said, but now they raping people. So for my nostalgia, I'm not gonna pay the price for that. I'm gonna buy these mini consoles that come out.
Yeah, I'm sure we probably should have done this like a few years back before all the nerds made it, or the frauds made it.
Yeah, thank you. I'm with you.
My favorite console, probably the most that I spent the most hours in, I guess, is what I would say, and that was probably the GameCube of all things.
That's
right. Yeah. So I had the GameCube, and I think that I spent the most hours on it on Monkey Ball of all items. Yeah. So I don't know. I played a lot of that, and then the OG Xbox, like I played a lot of that playing. What's that game called?
Give me some OG
Xbox. Fighting game.
What they had the Dead or Alive?
Girls Dead or Alive. They were flopping around.
Yeah, they gotta be Dead or Alive. They gotta be Dead or Alive. They had the best breath physics ever seen.
Yeah, I'm telling you. I was like, we were like amazed as children. We were just like, what is going on? I played that a lot, and I also played their volleyball game.
That game was soft porn. That game was not advisable. That was not advisable for kids. That was bad business. He was able to take pictures, and me and LordCognito was very inventive with our picture taking.
I would confirm nor deny.
Right? Yeah. So, yeah, I'm sure they gave plenty of little boys their first owners.
They gave motivation. That's what they did.
Right.
Motivation. We all wanted to be photographers after that game.
Right. They got photo mode. Y'all know that? But, yes. And then probably my most memorable console would be the PlayStation 2, only because I remember it being such a thing. It was like such a deal. It was sold out everywhere. It was expensive as hell, and it was still sold out everywhere. Yes. But the thing was that my dad kept telling me, oh, you can't get it. It's sold out. I can't find it. It's too much money. And then Christmas Day, boom, there it was.
Shout out to that.
It's the setup. It's the setup.
Yeah. So that was probably like, the most memorable gifting of a console.
Any specific PlayStation 2 games that stood out for you that generation?
No, because I think the game that I'm thinking about is PlayStation 3.
Okay.
Heavenly Sword. PlayStation 3.
That was good.
But on PlayStation 2, I remember playing Metal Gear Solid a lot. Because
there you go. There you go. That was classic.
Yeah, all I think of when I see that game is that noise, you know, that like, that
explanation point when you hear
noise. Yeah.
Yes. Salute.
But yeah. But I played like everything. I play everything. I've always played football games. I used to be a beast in Madden 2003, right? Way back there. But you said what now?
Yeah, well, no, I said now you're talking. We used to do tournaments.
Oh yeah.
What about that Joe Montana sports talk?
Oh man, love that.
That was a J. It was revolutionary. So you was a beast on Madden on those sticks?
Yeah. Nice. But I don't play it as much anymore. I think they've given us way too much control now.
Yeah. You know, it's funny. I agree with you in some level. It almost got overwhelming. I kind of missed some of the times when the computers did kind of all the work, and now it's like you get control every aspect of life.
I know. I'm like, I have too much control now. So yeah. Mm-hmm. But that's pretty much my gaming. I mean,
that's very good.
After being in the military is when I really got into FPS, first-person shooters.
Okay. Now that was what I was going to ask.
You was playing one in real life.
Right.
Yeah, I was gonna. No, continue. I'm sorry.
No, you're fine. Go ahead.
Yeah, no, pretty much I was going to ask you that because obviously, you know, what the Lords of the Realm we know you for, you know, is that Xbox love and a lot of FPS. We know you get busy, you know what I'm saying, in Destiny. I know you got busy. I got shot in the head 2 times from you.
No, yeah.
You know,
got my couple times too.
Got my back at the end, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Put that out there. But now you was getting busy and obviously Halo stuff, all that stuff. So tell me like how your affinity for Xbox are, because you know a lot of people know you in the Xbox family, the Xbox brand. Like you are a mainstay. So like, how did that really take off for you?
So really, it took off like while I was in the military. So I was like, I had a friend who worked with me, and he like begged me to get a 360. Like, and this was toward the end of the gen. Right. This was maybe like 2012, 2011, and he begged me to get one, and I'm like, you know, I wasn't in FPS or anything. He's like, look, I'm going to play with you. Don't worry. We're going to get Battlefield 4. Everything's going to be gravy. We're going to set you up with a headset. You'll be good to go. So he really walked me through playing Battlefield. And then he got me into like all the communities and stuff. And like in the military, it's nothing but a community. Like everywhere is community within your, so like I worked at the Naval Hospital. Yeah. So that's your community, but that's your bigger community. But then within your big community, I had my actual like office where I was at, which was Fleet Liaison. And what we were the liaison between the fleet and the hospital. Okay. So then you had that little community. So I'm already really community oriented. He introduced me to more community, and I feel like Xbox has. I know I'm going to catch heat, but they have the best community. Like. Yes, they are very community oriented. I've met people that I've never met before in real life, but they are still like family. Like facts. Yeah, I mean, like
that is such a big statement. And again, I know a lot of people, like you said, going to give crap or whatever, because at the end of the, you know, obviously we know Xbox is our preferred console. But the thing that people don't realize, and I'm glad you said that, is not only do they have, in my opinion, some of the best community, like the execs, everyone, it comes from a pure place, like a true gaming place. Right. And I feel that's different. I'm not trying to disrespect the Sony community or the Nintendo communities. It's just that the events, and like you said, like there's people, like when I met you, I remember my first fan fest. Like I'm like, oh, that's dope. Like, what's up, Ed? I heard about you, and then I met Inferno and all that through you. Right. And it is just so cool. It's almost like a fraternal thing, right? We get together every year to see our family almost. And that's what a lot of people outside of the community don't understand. But continue.
Yeah. But there's like something to be said too about a sense of community. Like with Xbox, they like make you feel like you're important, which people don't put enough stock into. Everyone needs to feel important. Not to get too sappy, but it's like human nature to feel like you're wanting and needed. And I think Xbox does provide that. Yeah.
Xbox wants us here.
Or at least they put on a good face.
They put on a good shot.
I honestly have to say, because I met you there as well, and I honestly have to say, I play on PlayStation, and it's really an isolated box, to be honest with you. Most of the games is single player games, so it's really like in the bushes, in the corner type of thing. And when you do get to have any interaction with other people, it's really aggressive, antagonistic type of things. Microsoft, which I've noticed, their games are a lot of cooperative games, and the fact that the Xbox Live is probably always up, never down like PlayStation Network. Yeah, I'm gonna hear it, but I don't care. And the communication is definitely there, because we have parties. We literally, we have lobbies.
Yeah.
Sometimes there'd be 12 people in there, and we gotta branch off and be like, yo, come on, we gotta go play this PUBG. Let's leave out of here. And I send you an invite, or we send Monkey an invite, and we'll slide off and go over there to keep that over there. But the community group is still there, and they just like branch off into different little sections. And I think that's cultivated more at Microsoft, because when Mikey Barra can jump inside your party, or Phil or somebody actually playing with you and actually communicating with you, playing Sea of Thieves or something like that, which is a cooperative game within itself, and it's in Game Pass. Hello, shout out. It fosters this family type of atmosphere, and I get that, I get that.
Absolutely. Yeah, and for me, I think it's real big, because like there was a period where I didn't play video games at all, because I was, people tease you. They act like, especially for a female, like, what is wrong with you that you play video games? Like, there has to be something wrong with you. There has to be some character flaw on why a female would want to play video games, like, avidly, right? So there was a big period where I missed a lot of games because I didn't play.
Wow.
And then I got back into it, like I said, more so once I was in the military. But it wasn't until I got the Xbox that I really got into playing, because there was community, there people, that was easy to find people who were like-minded to play with. Like you said, PlayStation is very isolated. It's hard to like find people that are like-minded like you just off of the system itself. You know what I mean?
Right. No, I hear what you're saying.
They're doing a lot better now.
They're doing much better now. And the PS4, it definitely, what I felt what they did better is they actually took a page from the 360.
Right.
As far as the party chats and the, getting the community going, because that was something that Xbox was always ahead of them. So again, we're not trying to the chat. We see y'all. We're not trying to make it a PlayStation bash.
Yeah, no.
I
always have a PlayStation, and I've had all the PlayStations. So like, people think because Xbox is my preferred console that I hate PlayStation, and like, no, that's not the case. And I don't buy into this BS console war. Like, you guys need to find something else to do with your life.
Talk about it.
But yeah, so that's really my story. I mean, I don't really have too much. I'm a mom too. I'm graduating this December with my degree in information systems, business systems, people.
That's what
I'm Came back from the military, almost done with my degree.
That's what I'm talking
and
about.
And my hope is to work for Microsoft.
That's what's up. Microsoft, y'all listening?
Be the best community manager for you guys, because I think that's super important.
She will be. You're fantastic on the stream team. We really appreciate what you do. And I just want to ask you one last question before we move on, which was more about the grown women gaming and the nerditude.
Oh, yeah.
So like, I want to shout out your team. You know what I'm saying? Lady Infamous, Lady Delilah, Lady Sharice. You know what I'm saying? Of course, your boy, is it Lord Prophecy, right? Is it Prophecy?
Yes.
Salute them. So how did you get started with the whole grown women gaming movement? And then also want to salute you too, because you were on like a panel or in the crowd of a panel at E3.
Wearing that Iron Lord shirt.
Humbly wearing the gray ILP shirt meant a lot to us. You have no idea how much that meant to us. So I want to salute you on that, as far as diversity, what I'm saying, and, women of color movement, as well as the grown women gaming and nerditude movements. How did that whole start?
I mean, that's like you heard what I was just saying. Like, it's super important to me, really, because like I was shamed about my video game hobby. You know what I mean? So like, and we complain about how the characters don't look like us, how there's not enough like options to like make the avatars look like us, and how are we going to have that if you have only one set of people trying to make something that they don't know about? Like, you can't expect a bunch of white males to be able to really capture what black hair looks like, what black facial features are like, just on pictures alone. We know that there is not two different types of shades.
Right.
Absolutely. You know what I mean? There's not black and blacker, and that's it. You know, we come in
She
all
said
different shades.
black.
All of us, really.
Blacker.
Even the Latinos, they come in all different shades. So we're not going to be able to get there unless we have more females, more people of color, all colors in the gaming industry. And if I could do something to help that, I feel like it's a necessity for me to do that.
That was huge. And I love your question for Phil. You know what I'm saying? When you were out there with the guys on stage, like that was really cool. I was very positive.
Yeah, I'm a mother too, so that helps as well. So when I see my daughter and I see her really enjoying the video games as well, I think, okay, so how am I going to expose her to more coding, to more aspects of the video game industry besides just playing the games that she can thrive with, you know? And
absolutely.
There's large girls that code movements everywhere, but I think that because Xbox is so community centered, that they have a platform to really do some good in that retrospect, because not every company is trying to do good. They're just trying to get your money.
No, I feel you. That's a great point. Fantastic point. And just real quick, so then you just linked up with like the grown woman gaming specifically. Like, how did you link up with all those members? Who started what?
So Lady contacted me after, oh shit. I can't remember when, but she did reach out to me and we started playing heavily. And then we got Delilah on board because they do GRG together.
No doubt.
And Delilah bought Sharice. Okay. And we started a little slow, but I think we're starting to gain a little traction now.
Yes, sir.
We kept with it. Delilah came with the nice graphics for our channel. We have our own dedicated channel now on YouTube. Yeah, we're gonna keep moving toward that. I would like to get some more people that because we all are primarily Xbox. So like we had an episode 2 weeks ago where we had some people who were more Nintendo centric.
Okay.
Which was nice because it's nice to have that banter.
Oh, we gotta call Solve Up. You gotta call Solve Up for that.
Yeah. Solve definitely swing through with his cape.
Yeah, and that's why I like really admire you guys, because you guys really have a good dynamic of people who like different things, you know? Yeah. So because no one wants to hear you just everybody agreeing all the time. I mean,
preach.
Right. So
I don't like these dudes.
Don't worry, it shows. It shows. But yeah, so and then the Nerditude, I play with Prophecy. I joined Prophecy back when the Division was happening. I joined a Facebook group and I play with him. And you're like apprehensive because you don't know how dudes are going to be with females, but
absolutely,
he's the best. He's the best guy. He doesn't mind helping people. He's starting his Nerditude, and we're just waiting for him to get his PC, and then we're going to be rocking off with the Nerditude. The Nerditude is going to be more everything, anime, everything nerd, you know, everything nerd. Yes, I watch anime too. I'm like super nerd.
Lboogie, show that diversity. That's what I'm talking about. That is what's up, man. Yo, Lboogie, I mean, Lady of in the chat. You know what I'm saying? A lot of the chat showing mad love right now. We definitely want to support y'all because at the end of the day, you know what I'm saying? Like that grown woman game is so important to see you out here moving. You know what I'm saying? I listened to it a couple times and you guys really know your gaming. And I like when they put you on and you're doing your reports from E3, how it went down.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Behind the scenes.
Episode, yeah,
she's like, we can't talk about that. This on the NDA. And what's funny is I'm like, I know exactly what she wanted to say.
Right.
Because we've been in those, you know, those environments. So it's just so cool. And I really
I actually got to go to campus. I don't know if you guys know.
Not yet. You're ahead of me.
Yeah. Campus. Yeah.
Wow.
I'm hoping to go back up there before the end of the year if I can. But yeah. So I've been there. It's amazing. It's like Disneyland for video games.
Yes, it is. Yeah, the Lords will definitely try to get that. The goal is 2019 to get that done. That's the goal. Right. Salute Lboogie. So of course you're in the room, so you know I gotta ask you the question that I ask all the guests. Tough question. Right. Top 5 video game franchises of all time. Either single game or the franchise.
All right. Well, the franchise number 1 is gonna be Tomb Raider because I've played almost every game on the computer. You know, like back in the day on my on my PC.
Nice.
And then super throwback to The Sims. And like all the Sim genre because I played Sim Ants.
I used to play Sim. I remember Sim City. You used to play Sim City, Al?
Sim City.
I was a big Sim City fan.
Yeah, so I
didn't like that game once my plumbing went. I didn't like that
game. Yeah. Were you building your sewage plant next to your water plant too?
Exactly. Yeah.
Why are all my people getting sick?
It kind of made sense at first, but then when you really thought about it, it really didn't make sense. Yeah. That was me.
So we got those two. We got Tomb Raider.
Okay, we got those because I started back on PC gaming. You know,
let's go. I feel you respect that PC.
All right, and then I have to go with the Mario franchise. Just because like that's like been with me forever.
Facts.
Big
I
know, right? Like you just like as a child, getting to the end and trying to make sure you get at the top of that flag to get it. Yeah. Right. Yeah.
Yep. So, that's three.
That's three.
Two more games that change your life.
Games that changed my life.
Your personal franchise. We don't care. Judgment free.
Okay. Everybody's gonna hate me.
Let's go.
But I'm gonna go with Destiny.
Woo! My God, let's go. No, we got to let you explain.
Right. But I guess, I wasn't like. I love the acts. I don't know if people can see, but there's notes from Halo in there. There's notes from Star Wars, which is like my favorite movie franchise. People probably don't even see it in there, but it's there. The people who are creating that game love Star Wars. And they listen to people.
I'm sorry, continue.
They listen to people. I mean, the thing with Activision, I don't quite like because I think that they're just like so money hungry that they mess up our games sometimes, but they're pretty quick to fix it.
Yes.
So I mean, because I've just put so many hours into Destiny. So
why? I need you to explain why is it that Destiny keeps bringing you back? What is it about the hook? What is it about specifically about the game? I got to challenge you a little bit because we get a lot of heat as Destiny lovers, right?
Right.
So people need to understand, like, what is it about this damn game that you guys keep coming back and keep spending money? Like, what is it about Destiny?
There's like such a satisfaction when you get something that's no one else has or that few people have, because you know that when you're in that space where everyone can see you and you have that, sleeper stim or that whisper or whatever hand cannon, and everyone's like, oh, I haven't gotten that, or I haven't been able to beat that. Like, that's why they fell off for the beginning of Destiny 2, because it was too easy. Like, if I don't have to do the raid, why am I going to do the raid?
Thank you. Oh, thank you.
Right. So there's like a satisfaction that comes with the grind. I mean, the game is not perfect at all in any way, shape, or form. I'm not saying that it is, but it definitely has a satisfaction to it because you grind, you put in work, like, and then you get a prize at the end. So,
what about that gunplay though? How about that?
Oh yeah, it has the best gunplay ever.
Woo! That's right,
hands down. I think that's pretty much what brings me back to is that like the gunplay is just like so awesome.
On point,
on point. Like just nobody else in the industry has gunplay like that. Like that was one of my biggest pet peeves about the latest Tomb Raider, is that how is it better to shoot with the bow than it is with a damn gun? Like,
well, you know what I've noticed, this new trend, and I don't know if it was Tomb Raider that started that trend with the bow.
Yeah,
but it's like everybody's been capitalizing on that trend with the bow, because now if you don't have a bow in the game, you're not but they got the mechanics down so good with it. I think they slacked off on the actual gunplay, and I always use the bow from now on, like when I'm playing Tomb Raider. So it's like seems so natural.
It's like you don't even want to use anything else but the bow, which, I mean, I think you're right. I think that when they did the initial reboot was when everybody started, this bow thing, everybody's liking it, you know?
A bow. Yeah.
No doubt. That's what's up. And number 5, what's the 5th one? Round out the list.
Oh, I was hoping that you forgot.
No, we went out.
Okay. Let me think.
Means a lot to Lboogie.
Yeah, means a lot to me.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Any system, any time frame, could be recent, could be back in the day. Gotta give me one.
Okay, so favorite game of all time has to be Duck Hunt.
Duck Hunt, wow, okay.
Y'all can,
yeah, she did mention it in the beginning. Right?
Yeah.
It did.
So yeah, I wish they would bring that back. Like Nintendo, like you would have me. I would buy all the preferables. Like,
don't say that to them people. Don't
I'm just
we
saying.
Gotta get that Joy-Con Duck Hunt.
No, Zelda is not my favorite. I'm so sorry.
They're gonna do a mini console with just your light gun and give the light gun games. That's a Nintendo way. You gonna get that.
So, question about that Duck Hunt, because I heard when you mentioned it before, you said you were playing it on the wall. So you were playing it on a projector?
Yeah, like I don't know. I don't remember how my mom did it, but I had one. And playing it on the wall.
Yeah, we would have loved to go to your house.
Right? Well, every now and then I'll get some good shit.
I'm feeling Lboogie has great history, great gaming stuff. We'll get into the show. It's a long one. That was fire.
Yeah, before Attic leaves.
Yeah, before Attic, I know. He leaves.
Nah, if Attic didn't leave during the UFC, he's here for staying.
So I'm here. It's just I have Odyssey to keep my attention on.
Oh my God. I knew he's playing a video game because he's too peaceful right now. Last week's poll results are in, and the people have spoken to the question: with the recent announcement by Sony to allow Fortnite crossplay between multiple platforms, is it fair to now expect Bethesda to include Fallout 76 crossplay based on their previous non-negotiable stance involving crossplay for Elder Scrolls Legends? The winner at 67% of the vote was the yes. Sony has now exposed Bethesda's previous statements and called their bluff group. Coming in at second place at only 26% was the no. Unreasonable expectation for Bethesda based on the time frame of Sony announcement group. And coming in at a shallow third place with only 7% of the vote was I don't care who's playing buggy Bethesda games anyway. Shout out to all the lords who participated in last week's poll. Lboogie, what do you think about the Bethesda Sony thing? Did Sony call their bluff? What did you feel about that whole thing?
For me, it still remains to be seen because when it comes out and everybody has crossplay and Sony doesn't, are they going to bend again? Like, are their consumers going to be like, all right, Sony, like, I don't want to have to keep buying shit on your console and on everybody else's console separately.
Right.
So I don't know. Like, I think Bethesda is pushing forward. I think that it would be great. I'd love to be able to play all my games and have cross progression and all that. So, I mean, because then you'd be able to play with your friends on PlayStation and then play with your friends on Xbox. So, I'd love to see it. I mean, the reason why they don't want you to do it is because they're making goob gobs of money.
Absolutely. Now, hey, let's see what happens. I thought it was funny. It was a very hot topic. So we are going to get into this. So we got some breaking news. Hot off the presses. So it's a ton of impact. A lot of huge PlayStation rumors this week. And rumor number one was kind of broken by Jason Schreier from Kotaku. And he's basically saying that game developers are prepping for PSN name changes. So that is out there in the universe as far as 3 different game studios. It's been long overdue, and they've confirmed that. Then rumor number 2, which was very interesting, was definitely about PlayStation 5 backward compatibility. And Sony's recently registered a patent that heavily suggested that it's going to be their focus. And accordingly, this could be for applying to all of the PlayStations of the past generation, the original one, PlayStation 2, 3, and 4. And basically what they determined with this patent is about this asset that's called a texture. And it's basically a texture for legacy software. So what they've basically, I use these identifiers to show that this is something that is an asset that could be remastered and be a part of a new console game presentation. Again, sounds very similar to the backward compatibility. And then the last one, which is pretty much about the release date. And obviously, with PSX was kind of like a no-show. We know about the E3 situation. There's some rumors going on, and I want to shout out Ace Securities. That's one of them. Express Co. A lot of these guys, Kotaku, also actually comicbook.com. They had something on it as well, which is also about the PS5. And they're saying that they say they at least expect it to be introduced in 2019. Not necessarily the launch yet, but it introduced. So I wanted to bring this to the realm, with these rumors kind of picking up. Only one I would consider very more legit, which would be the Jason Schreier Kotaku one, because those are from specific game developers who are choosing to speak anonymously about Sony's name changes, kind of thing. So that one we kind of will say is more of online.
The one that is inconsequential, the one that they supposed to do off the rip. That's confirmed. No, we're gonna confirm that one right there.
But the other two, obviously, we have to get more sources on it, which is the back compat and the PS5. So yes, King, we know how you feel. Well, if this is the case, and if these rumors are true, bring us to the Lord. Is the PS5 set up to dominate next gen? If these, let's go.
I think they'll be in a really good position if this is true, because the biggest thing for them has been no back compat, and if they're going to be bringing a new console this early, to try to get the jump, which I've heard rumors that the dev kits are already out, and people have dev kits in hand. So if the dev kits are out and people are already working toward this system, then back compat will be the only way that they could be successful.
That's a big deal. That's a big deal, right?
Because people, it's too fresh, Yeah,
absolutely. And to be able to carry those games forward, I hear you. So that would be the bigger rumor. Now, what about the year release date? About where do you sit on whether it comes out 2019? 2020, what's your gut telling you?
I think they're going to announce it at E3 and release it end of 2019.
Oh, so you think it's announced this year and released this year?
Next year. We're not there yet, but yeah.
2019, I'm sorry. Correct.
Yeah.
You want my honest opinion? I'm low-key starting to think the way these companies are moving that we're going to get an announcement at XO.
Wow.
And E3 is going to be dedicated to the next gen games, and that comes out next year.
Interesting. Okay, let's bring it all the way around. Lord Solve, I need you on this. 3 rumors: back compat, name changes, and PS5 release date.
First of all, I got to give a big shout out to Sony for always pushing the envelope and being first in line for something. I've never heard of this before. Back compat? What is that? I never heard of that before.
Who wants that?
Who wants that? Wow. I'm floored by this innovative thing that I've never heard of before.
Oh my God, so true.
Sarcasm aside, though, like I've been saying it for the longest, I think they need to follow suit with Microsoft in that regard in order to truly be successful next gen. Because the thing about it is, I just think, regardless of how many PlayStation consoles are out there, Microsoft has continued to push the envelope in terms of making the argument that their console is the best, a great buy all the way around with all the services, Gamepass, with everything. It doesn't make sense that they would not go that route. I know where King is coming from. They've never traditionally done stuff like that, because they don't want to be perceived as the guys that follow behind. But there's just certain things that it's too much work to create a separate ecosystem for the legacy stuff. It's just too much work. So my thinking is that it's going to happen.
Okay.
Go at it. I have a question. With the direction they're taking PlayStation now, do you think they try to use that as their legacy service?
That's what they're gonna use.
King is ready.
But that's the point. Like, they could be using this backwards compatibility to make it where you can download these games on the service and not have to stream them.
Well, right. No, but the streaming is not going to be the thing. To me, the downloading thing, the true back compat, I think at some point they have to figure that the downloading stuff is imperative that they're able to do.
No, that's
not
what I'm talking about.
It's not going to be
research. They could be researching this method so they can make it where they can download these PS3 games, these PS2 games, these PS1 games, and throw them all on PS Now.
But I think PS Now as a service is going to be on the console. Whatever the console is still going to be on the console. It may be elsewhere.
I would hope that they would, choose that direction, that they would give people that option. But the way they've been acting this generation, I see them like, look, like we got a PS5 for the PS5 titles, and you can subscribe to this PlayStation Now for such and such amount of month, and you can play all the rest.
Now, let me ask you this, because Lord Sam Tober's in the chat. He said PS5 in 2019. Why would they release their next gen console before Last of Us Part 2, Ghost of Tsushima, and Death Stranding release?
They did the same thing for
the PS3 and the PS4.
Yeah, so
I mean, we said before that a lot of these games are probably cross-gen games. You'll see 2 versions of these games.
Right.
And another thing is, if they really want to be super bold, and it holds true that these consoles are coming next year, imagine a launch lineup with that. Like, if you really want to put the nail in Microsoft's coffin, like if you really want to come hard and don't care about spreading out these releases over the course of 2019 and 2020, you just drop all of that and then and say what. What now?
Let that throw the chest out.
Yeah, it's funny. It's funny. All the PlayStation fanboys is like, yeah, stop, yeah. And I'm like,
go ahead, King.
Bro, no. I'm the wet blanket right now for you. I'm putting your campfire out. I'm Jason Voorhees. I'm in the bushes. I'm chasing you down. It ain't gonna happen. It's over. You're not getting out of here. It's over. It's a horror movie, and guess what happens? There's no backup pack. Ain't gonna happen. Now, if you want to play our stuff, and this is a business, right? They're winning without doing it. Microsoft is doing it, and they're losing. So they're looking and saying, that's not a good idea. And we don't have to waste money doing that.
They recently registered a patent.
There's a lot of patents that get registered. There's a ton of patents that get registered that never come to fruition. It's not coming. But what they do have is this nice.
That it's not.
Because
I'm just want to hear that.
They have a service. They have a service, and that service they have invested so much in PlayStation Now. Just like Lord Addict said, that makes sense. Like for them to download it to the system. Yeah, you say, you know what I like about Game Pass? Let's copy that. Let's download it to our system too. Makes sense. I think that's smart. For how many times the system does go offline, so you can actually play some games that you're paying for the month. I feel that. Do that. That makes sense.
Like I said, I would think that. I mean, at the end of the day, like these are big corporations that they do this research and development long before, like whatever they're doing on the PS5, it's been in research for a while. Right. So that's what a lot of people forget about when it comes to games. Some of these games, they're like, well, why didn't they put this trend in there or this trend? Because this development cycle started 3 years ago. Right. So, I think that if I were to bet, I would say that they would. But at the end of the day, it's like, they're making these moves with PS Now. They've kept that service alive. I really wouldn't be surprised if they're like, look, the PS5, you have access to all these games. But if you want to play our older library, we can give you this service where you can pay a certain amount of dollars, or maybe they'll restructure PS Now and you can play these. I don't think that's the best move for them. I think that would hurt them a lot, but I wouldn't be surprised that they did it.
Right.
So are you saying that? But you're saying the service wouldn't be playable on the PS5?
No, it would be.
It would be.
I never said it would be.
I'm asking. I'm saying.
He's asking.
It's going to be on the PS5. I'm saying that if you want to play PS4, PS3, PS2, and PS1 games, they're going to be like, you could subscribe to PlayStation Now and play those games.
Yeah, it's there.
Okay, continue, King. I want you to finish your point.
No, I mean that's it. Me and Attic is in total agreement.
Meaning it's not back compat like Xbox. Like if you own the game already, you'll be able to play it.
No, heck no.
Like I see them using this backwards compatibility, and I hope that they're doing it, because I honestly think if they choose that direction, that they don't need true, native backwards compatibility on the PS5. They're going to get murdered by just the marketing team alone by Microsoft.
Right.
Like imagine marketing. It's like play Xbox 2, whatever it is, and play 4 generations of games. Like that's hard to market against. I would think that they would do it. They would set the backwards compatibility. They have been, you know, reversing a lot of things here lately. They've been saying like the crossplay.
Exactly.
So, like I said, I would expect them to do it, but at the end of the day, like if they, I think that they care more about this service called PlayStation Now than they do backwards compatibility natively on the PS5.
We are 100% in agreement. They tried their native crap and it didn't work out for them. Everybody's keeps citing this they just bend the knee. That they bend the knee to the biggest dude in the game. The biggest dude in the game made them bend the knee, honestly.
But they've never bet before, you know, they've never bet. They were very staunch on not bending the knee and
they never went up against a dude to smack him like that. like what it really do, like when you really get smacked. You ever got smacked so hard your ear started ringing? They got smacked and that ear was ringing and they was like, yeah, exactly what he said. Y'all could play over there too. So nobody else is doing that. And I listen, I pretty much can tell you, look at all the future games that come out. There's not going to be no cross-play. And these dudes really don't care. They don't care about it. Like, the PlayStation dudes is like, we're fine over here. The hell with y'all. Right? So, and it's just like that. Like, so the guys that are clamoring for it, it's really cross-progression is better.
Oh, absolutely. I'm completely with.
Yeah, cross-play, who cares? Right? I really don't care. But cross-progression, I would love to actually pick up my PlayStation and play my Destiny. I would really love to do that. But
the problem with cross progression is that by definition, then you have to, it forces you to pick a side more than anything else, right? Because then it's like, okay, are you really going to buy 3 copies of this game to play on different platforms?
If you're a streamer, yes.
Right.
Yeah, I mean,
the software sales.
They'll still get the software, and then you don't think they're more worried about if these companies can prove, I mean, the engagement and just like, you know, almost like the Gamepass thing, like, you know, that more people are spending and more people doing microtransactions, you know what I'm saying, and we're getting more popular and online communities are thriving, you know what I'm saying. I think maybe they can come with that sale on cross progression, but I think it probably, you know, like King said, I think Fortnite is the anomaly in this gen because it's the biggest dude, but like next gen maybe, you know, they can be able to double down more those other companies, and now that the floodgates open, so to speak.
Yeah, I think Fortnite is definitely the anomaly. I don't know that we see a game be able to do that again. Gotcha. And then it's another thing you have to worry about is that, you know, what if Fortnite starts to fall off?
So you're actually on King's side, which is you think this is a very isolated installation based on the dominance of Fortnite. We've never seen anything like that.
My feeling is that they need to do it. I think they just need to do it. This is where the industry is going. They need to do it.
Okay.
They've proven that they can do it. You know, they got such a big head start over Microsoft and just in terms of popularity and market share that whatever Microsoft is doing, as positive as it is, it's a tough hill to climb for them. So yeah, they're still winning without doing this stuff. I just think in terms of being, and I said it last week, at some point when you're a market leader, you have to take the lead on these big things. You cannot allow the 2 guys under you to keep making these strides forwards, and then you're like, okay, I'm going to follow suit. It doesn't look good. It just doesn't look good. At some point, you have to be the one that takes the charge and goes forward. So for me, I think they have to do it. But I do understand that Fortnite is a different beast. Right. It's a different beast, and we have not seen a game with this sort of penetration all across the board. And the problem is if it falls off, like anything, because Fortnite, as powerful as it is, and as much money as Epic is bringing in, what if something else usurps it? Then what happens?
Sooner or later, it's happened. It happens year after year. Sooner or later, something will replace it. I don't know how long it's going to be. It could be 5 years from now. Sooner or later, like, you know, and it won't. It's not like it'll completely die because it won't. But sooner or later, there'll be something that comes out that'll be popping. I mean, PUBG used to be that thing.
Right. Let me jump in because this I thought these are all interesting. Rumor number 1 to me with the name change that's happening. You know what I'm saying? And one thing I've learned about Sony over the years is they're very aggressive. Right? They're competitive and they also petty. You know what I'm saying? So the thing about them is they want to control, in my opinion, the media cycle. Like they want to control the narrative. And this week, it was a strong Microsoft week, right? It was, Forza dropped, you get an Excel news, and I felt it was a very shrewd move to kind of say, okay, boom, the name changes or what have you. So I think that's happening. On the back compat with the Rumor 2, man, that would be huge. That would be huge because, in my opinion, they got the games of the generation. So now you're basically reassuring your base this awesome library is coming with you. You know what I'm saying? Right. If they pull that off, that's a chess move.
And another thing is, do you think that they would do something like that? Because I feel like, especially one of the reasons that they have such good games might be a reason not to do it, because they know that they make these remakes, that they know they make these, these reports for PS5. People are going to buy them because they had such dominant games.
I think normally I would agree with you. The problem is, I think that what the cross-play thing showed me is, let's be real, they were getting dragged in the media for that. They, for the first time, really, the gen, they were not the darling.
It was consistently all the time.
Yeah, all the time. We were out there. You know what I'm saying? E3, we remember, King, you couldn't get away from Fortnite news. People, F you, Sony. I can't believe my account was locked into this. Let me finish. I hear you. My whole thing is, with that negative backlash, again, with the biggest game, I get it. But I also realized that Microsoft and Nintendo jumped on the weakness. They were like, look, we play together. You don't. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was perfect timing to really needle them at their weakness. And let's keep it a buck. Microsoft's biggest card is services. One of their biggest cards this whole gen is back compat. We've been riding back compat. Shout out to Bill Still on the team. You know what I'm saying? That is the greatest innovation they have. And they can, every time, because even Sony fans joke, whenever Sony announces a new game, right? This is Microsoft's game, right? Whenever Sony announces a new game, Microsoft's PR will tell you about all these new games that are being added to back compat. Let's keep it a book. I shout out to Jay Barry. I see his tweets. I laugh sometimes. Shout out to JW. He's like, it's always interesting that whenever Sony does, that here comes Microsoft with these great, classic back compat games that people want to play. So I think they're both playing off that, and Sony picks that up. You know what I'm saying? That's just me. So again, if they are to do it, and it's rumored that the PS5 more than likely is going to have that AMD architecture. Right, which would be the same as the PS4, which would make that transition easier, because with the PS3, it was different. It was a cell. So maybe that's why they couldn't do it from a hardware. But the last one, 2019.
PlayStation 3, remember, PlayStation 3 played PlayStation 2 games.
Well, the original.
Because they had it built in.
Because you can tell, like, if you look at it from a standpoint that, like, the people working for Microsoft on the software aspect, like, they work magic.
Yeah.
Because when
Sony don't got that magic.
When they were talking to Yoshiro and they asked him, they're like, what's your response to backwards compatible? Like, you could look at that interview. He seemed like, I don't know how they did it. I'm curious how.
And everybody's talking about, but the machines is going to be so much alike, and you can wish and hope and might all you like. It's not coming.
Wishing and hoping. It's these are facts. You sound like you are shook of this news.
No, actually, no. I'm just a realist.
News could happen.
Listen, if it did happen,
it can happen. But listen, I know it can happen.
Okay, what is going to happen if this happens to y'all? How are y'all going to survive? Because y'all sound
I don't care. I really don't care. The thing is,
then that means my Spider-Man comes over. Like
I know for a fact that they could do it. It's just my thing is will they do it?
I'm gonna get the remastered Spider-Man.
Try to sell service. That's what I don't know. I feel like at this point they have to.
Right.
Yeah. But I don't know if they're going to prioritize that service. They put a lot. I mean, they're clearly not giving up on now. Like they're just updated it again to give native download. So my thing is, I don't know what they're going to do with that service.
Right. Now back to what I was saying with the 2019 thing. Again, to me, if true, that would be very aggressive. And like I told y'all, last ILP, no PSX, they weren't there. No. Very limited, predictable E3 showing that we all of us at the round table was like, that's all y'all showing? Like, what's up with that? So when I see that kind of stuff, to me, it suggests they cooking up.
Exactly. I think they all come in next year.
Right.
I think all 3 systems will launch next year.
Well, my gut is, I'm still holding on my 2020, but my gut now is saying they will definitely announce it. in 2019. It would be.
It's just who gonna jump out the window first, and I think
it's getting announced next year.
I think it's Microsoft that jumps out the window first. I think Nintendo follows suit.
Well, we said it that they needed to come out first, right? But the question is, are those games going to be ready?
Right.
They can't come out again touting the best third party.
I feel exactly what you're saying, right? And not to pivot off of the PlayStation topic. I know you PlayStation guys want your topic to be, isolated to yourself. But remember, these dudes is joined at the hip because when he moves, he moves. Yeah. But I honestly feel that this is how the dominoes will fall. Nintendo has noticed that a lot of these major third-party games aren't on their system, and as much growth as they've shown from going from the Wii U to the Switch, they would love to extend that reach into the third-party realm. All right, because they have fell back to old Nintendo where the first party games is pushing the system, the third party games is lacking. Now they're getting some games on it as third party that's making us go, wow, I can't believe that's on the Switch. You understand? But they want that to be more commonplace instead of more like a red herring. Microsoft knows that they can't let Sony come to the market first. Right. They have been pushing these two system thing. One is a hardware system, and you have the stream system. So they're trying to get you with the cheaper price and get you, because they already did this thing right now. If you didn't know, it's $24. You can go get yourself an Xbox One X and have it right now and be part of that pay every month plan. You've been doing it with your cell phones and everything. I don't know why you ain't doing it there, but they're ready for that. I've noticed, just like y'all just said, Sony has scaled back. They mailed in E3. They cut off of the PlayStation X. Straight up. So so they're going full steam ahead. They want to extend their dominance, and I'm pretty sure that they got the memos like, Microsoft is coming next year. Mikey Barrow said these words, and Phil said the same exact words to me, verbatim. Don't mix next year. It's going to be epic. Both of them said the same thing. Now, coming off of E3, that the dominance, I don't care what y'all say. Anybody can sit there and say, Ghost of Tsushima. Go away with that. The dominance of Microsoft at E3 was evident. They said, okay. Sony said, okay. Y'all want to play that game? I don't really think that back-compat stuff is going to happen. They're going to push the power of the system. Where Microsoft might be hampered with the fact that they're going to tell you, oh, you can play all your games, and we want everybody to come inside. Sony don't give a hell about that. We're going to show you the power from the rip. If you want to play them old games, we got this thing called PlayStation Now. You can get in the bushes and get in it. Go ahead, play that. But our games from the rip is going to show the dominance of the system. Yeah, they can probably be equally as powerful, but Sony will not be hamstrung by the old generation. They're going to show the dominance.
You just alluded to my last point, which was basically the whole 2019 thing. And I'm with you on a lot of points, King, because at the end of the day, if they are to drop in 2018, this is just my personal opinion, I think that's a huge problem for Microsoft because you can't allow them first to the market. You have to be the same at the market. That's just my opinion based on how last gen. LB, I got to get you in. Like,
I was going to say, you don't think that they're going to be ready for 2019? You don't think Microsoft also has their dev kits out?
Absolutely. I'm not saying that Microsoft's not foreshadowing what Sony's doing. I think they learned a valuable lesson. They learned the power narrative with the X. They learned a lot of things. I'm with you, Al. I just feel like they have to. I guess my concern with Microsoft is this: if they are forced to come out in 2019, and if Sony's ready, what would Microsoft launch with? That's my concern because we know everything's cooking up, right? We know the Infinity Gauntlet. We got all that coming. I'm just worried. Like, what would you think they could come with? Like, tell me, like, what's your opinion if it's 2019 on the Microsoft side?
I think that they're going to come out with Fable, just because I think the game was already in development, so they're not starting totally from scratch. So they're taking you got Playground Games, which everyone knows this is. Who's making this game? And they're done with Horizon now. They're done with Horizon. So you figure they have a full year to work on a game that was probably more than half finished. to make changes, to critique it, and polish it, and get it out. I think that they're on their.
Hold on,
they're on their factory mode right now.
Hold on 1 second.
On factory mode right now. That they're trying to pump them out. I think that the normal cycle that we saw, they're probably trying to take games that are already like fashion and then just polish them or change them slightly.
The forward compatibility model, which is kind of like could be upscaled for the next gen console, the Scarlet, so to speak.
Right, because you know that like most people don't know, but like God of War is so different because God of War was not God of War at first.
Right.
God of War was a different game, and then they were like, man, we can just make this God of War, and it'll have the clout of God of War, and will sell better. So many times people come up with video games that are very similar to old games, and then they make those slight adjustments and push them out.
Okay.
So go ahead.
I just want to jump in the chat because the chat going in on us. Digital Tiger said, King, what dominance? They showed no relevant exclusive.
Okay, I got Digital Tiger says, I wanted you to go into that because I saw him and I read it.
He said, why are y'all so optimistic when Microsoft has never won a generation? He's
They've never won a generation?
All right. You right now, you're Conor McGregor and you're whistling through the graveyard. Right now, this is what you're doing. You're whistling through the graveyard. When he was going crazy, I told y'all a lot of times that was fair in a man's heart. I hear you. That's fair in your heart. If you're going to tell me that you didn't see that E3 and you walked away from that E3 with Flute Man and you thought you was winning, brother, I'm talking to you, straight to you. I want you to understand. You don't know what dominance is then for the E3. I was there. You viewed it on your TV or on your phone or however you consumed it. I was there. I consumed it there. Then I saw the Sony show and said, what is going on? But I also walked away from E3 and said, game of the show was this little guy. I told you that. But I told you setting up. Microsoft told you we're coming and we're carrying a big stick. Pause. And they're not playing. They're buying studios. Now, those games that were coming, they're gonna release that system with the bacon, egg, and cheese thing that they always do. All right, it's coming. Bacon, egg, and cheese is coming. All right, Halo Forza game. The bacon, egg, and cheese is coming. You're gonna get Gears, the new Gears. You'll get a new Forza game because you just got Horizon right now. So the new Forza game is coming. That's a fact.
They actually said no Forza next year.
Digital Tiger says Sony pulled back at E3 because Microsoft showed nothing but multiplats.
How would they know what somebody else is doing?
I'm gonna have to have you. Digital, I'm gonna have to have you stand down. They don't make giant critiques like that based on. But what people don't realize is these conferences are months in advance. They might do slight little tweaks. Remember, we've had plenty of people on the show that go to these meetings and they say that the smallest little thing is planned from months at a time, and they might change little things, but they never change the whole direction of the conference itself.
It's just
Sony didn't show anything in E3 because they have nothing to show because everything that they're doing right now is for PS5.
I want Lboogie to defend herself from a Digital Tiger's Fable comment.
No one cares.
What was his comment?
I was like, what the hell he said? Yeah, y'all funny right now. No, he just said that it's not coming. Basically, like there's no way, kind of that like it's not ready, so to speak.
What you gonna do when it do come? Because you out here whistling, Connor. Like, what you gonna do when he put hands on you? Like, what?
These couch execs. I mean, man, you would think these people own stock. Like, do you have stock receipts? Are you getting dividends at the end of the year? Because that's how you act.
They do. They got stock. I had one dude that told me, I got blue chip stocks. You don't know how it works. Okay, bro.
One thing is, like I said, it's going to be interesting 2019. Shout out to Sam in the chat. We got to definitely revisit this next year to see how this thing plays out. Very interesting rumors.
I think EXO will be telling. Sorry.
No, continue.
I was just saying, I think EXO will be telling.
Yeah, EXO will learn a lot.
Because the fact that they came out with their own show and PSX was canceled, that's telling.
You know what? Tell about L. I'm glad you said that because this is where I'm gonna go at digital speakers. What's his name? Is digital what? Twilight. All right, digital Twilight. Listen. Since they Twilight. Listen, since you said that.
Dude, he going.
Yeah, I want. I'm get him right now. I'm get you right now. Right now, you ain't gonna like me. Right, because you knew. So what I got to do is I got to introduce you to what's gonna happen to you. Right, check it out. Right, so you sitting there telling me that there was no dominance at the E3 show, right? Mm-hmm. I'm gonna show you something. The dominance was so big that your peoples canceled their show.
Look, at the end of the day, I think it's a good chance that they launch next year. I don't think they're coming with Fable. I think Fable's a 2020 game. And I think they're coming next year with this fully remodded Halo.
Yeah, Gears.
It's going to be interesting to see.
And that's part of the reason that kind of makes me think it's going to be a 2020. But I've had conversations with a bunch of people like this has been a thing. What?
Is it early 2020 or is it late 2020?
It's gonna be late. Oh, you're talking about Fable?
Is it like a Nintendo 2020? Because
that's a good possibility. The console might launch at the
March thing is nice. I like that.
If it doesn't launch in next year, it might launch at the beginning of 2020. Like I don't think that would be the thing.
Going for the income tax bucks?
I don't know, but at the end of the day, like I think it's gonna launch with Halo. And I think that, especially with this new engine, the new direction, like, if Halo is good enough, that will be enough.
Listen, and remember I told you, and this is no slight to Nintendo, they launched at income tax time when people had their checks and they were definitely purchasing. And listen, it's like, somebody sat there in the marketing team and said, where is their money that we're not getting? And he said, Mark. It's like, what? What's that? Income tax time. They have excess money. They want to ball out, brother. And he said, true. And sure enough, that switch sold like hotcakes. And I said, you know what it was? It was them income tax dollars that pushed it because I had my boy told me, yeah, as soon as I get my income tax, I'm getting that switch. And I said, Eureka. They found a gold mine. March, from January to March is that time for that cash, bro.
It's like I said, Halo 5 wasn't that game. It wasn't like, it was I would say Halo 5 was a system seller, but it didn't live up to its predecessors. Besides, 4 was trash. But 5, 3, 2, and 1, they weren't just system sellers. They defined the generation for that whole console. And if they can hit that gold mine with Halo 6 and generalize that fan base like Sony did with God of War, that will be more than enough to launch a console with. But I don't know if they could do it. That's the thing. Like
we're gonna see. This, like I said, we're gonna learn a lot. I agree with Lboogie. Like we're gonna learn a lot in the next couple of months. We're gonna learn a lot with XO. We're gonna see what's going on in 2019. We have got to move on because we're running crazy.
Let's go.
Lord King, you are up. Game Pass effect. What's going on, man? What dropped for Game Pass? That was crazy.
Yo, all right. So I kept checking my dashboard because I seen everybody playing Forza, right? Yeah. So I'm like, it's not a Game Pass yet. I was doing the same thing. I'm like, resistant, right? So then when it dropped, I was like, yeah! Hit the button. I was like, download now. See, now, for those people that don't understand, you could get this game in Game Pass. Microsoft said, because a lot of people in my party didn't know that Game Pass will be getting first-party games from Microsoft. All first-party games. So when I said it, Hardcore was like, what? I said, yeah. I said, you don't have Game Pass? He said, yeah, I got Game Pass. Because he was talking about buying Forza. I said, it's in Game Pass right now. He said, you're lying, King. I said, I'm not lying. All the first-party games, that comes to Game Pass. So he went and he downloaded it. Now, when I say the Game Pass effect is all these Sony dudes were quiet as hell when that game came out. And they said it isn't free for Game Pass. And they looked at they peoples and was like,
because they were playing the game.
Yeah. And they looked and said, I don't see Sony doing nothing like that. And PlayStation now, they ain't dropping no Spider-Man in there. And they really thought they was gonna get like some bare bones, some old crumbs and stickets game. No, this game rocks.
Yeah,
and we got
it validates Game Pass.
Big time.
So
big time.
The fact that I'm saying is, now that this AAA title has launched in there, because every game that launched in Game Pass, they have always said something, or it didn't have enough content, or it was this, it was broken, and it was they had to fix this. This game is solid all the way around the boards. This is the first title that can stand on its own merits in the store retail or in Game Pass. Now, the effect is, what does Sony do now, and what does these Game Pass do? Does it subscription shoot through the roof because of this? What is the effect of this game launching in Game Pass? This real good, solid title.
Absolutely.
What happens now?
This is huge.
I
this
do
is huge.
want to point out real quick because I'm looking. I actually have the most popular games on Game Pass right now. Forza's 1, Rocket League's 2, Sea of Thieves is 3, Fallout 4 is 4, and Wolfenstein is 5, followed by the Master Chief Collection and Halo 5. So like, considering Forza just came out, obviously it would be 1. I'm kind of curious. Like, Sea of Thieves is still 3. I think a lot of people don't realize that these games actually do well on this service. You know how I know Game Pass is doing something?
What's up?
I was at my friend's house and she runs a daycare. And, you know, I was sitting there and one of her daycare mom comes in and she brought her son's Xbox because he was going to play that. And she was like, well, what do I do with it? She's like, oh, no, it's fine. Just hook it up. He's got Game Pass. He'll have all he has to play. And when I heard that, I was like, wow, this because I didn't really think it was doing like that. And I was thinking to myself, this thing's really selling. It got people I don't even know have this stuff.
It's great for kids. It's great for parents that have kids. I share my Game Pass with my daughter. What game? Oh, you like that game? Download it. It's fine. It's free. Go ahead.
That's dope. Yeah, I want to first shout out to people in the chat. Shout out to Lady, bro. Red in for me in the chat. It's good to see you. Shout out to Game Forte. What's up, bro? That's what's up. But yeah, Lboogie, like, what do you feel like? Like, you feel like you know, is this tremendous value, or like, and to King's point, how do you feel about Forza Horizon in it? Because like King said, like prior to this, you know, you had the State of Decay, you had the Sea of Thieves, and for whatever, you know, for different issues, people took issues with certain aspects of those games. So do you feel like Forza Horizon is like that first legitimate feel Game Pass game, like AAA quality kind of?
Oh yeah, because Forza is like, bar none, I don't care what any PlayStation guy has to say, Forza is the epitome of what racing should be on a console. Like, they have the best metrics, the best cars, the best graphics, the best everything. Everyone had to bow down and agree. I got flack for saying, oh my God, Forza is like actually having a good review. Like an Xbox game is having a good review.
I do want to point out, Red Infamy did say in the service, Microsoft needed a service because their games were not selling like in the past.
Yeah.
Game Pass is a great value to adopt more. I don't think it's because, you know, whatever their games were or were not selling. I think the reason Game Pass exists is because EA Access exists. I think when they saw the kind of, because a lot of people don't realize this, Microsoft has access to all the traffic that EA Access is getting.
Yeah.
So when they saw those numbers, they're like, they went to the drawing table like, we got to do something to adopt this.
Attic, I'm gonna give you something a little bit deeper, and I had this little epiphany the other night when I was just sitting there by myself. And is it that Microsoft, because you know they have their spies, their network is very vast. Same thing with Sony. I don't ever discredit these companies with doing their due diligence on what the competition is doing. And we all know from Sovereign speaking this into existence that these streaming systems from Amazon and from Google are actually at the precipice of being launched, right? So you said that these systems is on the horizon, and Microsoft said, okay, we know that they're coming. There's nothing that we can do to stop these dudes from coming through this door. But what can we do to secure when this wave hits? Because you know that Amazon will be streaming.
pull from this direction. How we gonna set up these traps to ambush stuff?
like Google will be streaming. How can we set up a system that has all our games encompassed in it, and we can already build a base? Because like Showtime and HBO would have built a base before Netflix and Hulu got in here. You understand? They wouldn't have got overrun in the manner that they're getting overrun. So, do you think that Game Pass is a preemptive move to not just Sony, but to Google and to Amazon?
It's all of that, because I think what the primary lesson that Microsoft has learned since 2013 is that you cannot pigeonhole people into telling them what they want. You have to give people choice. And so what they realize is, okay, how do we get back market share? How do we get people to like us again? Well, we give them the platform that offers them the most amount of choice as to how they consume their games. And that's what they're doing. So it's preemptive all across the board, because it's an answer to everything, right? They have their own streaming thing coming, right? And they have to be ready for that, because Amazon and Google has the largest reach of any of these companies. You know what I'm saying? They're talking about giving you Assassin's Creed Odyssey in Chrome, in your browser. That's insane. Like, Microsoft doesn't have that type of reach, right? So they have to give you a number of different options of how you engage with your games, and you pick what's best for you. When it comes to the Game Pass effect with Forza, I think what Forza does is that it gives you it does finally give you that AAA game in that space that says, wow, I'm paying $10 and this game is not short on content. The way it's built, it's an online game. It's basically Destiny with cars. That's what it is. That's what Forza Horizon 4 is. So that you're coming back to it. And now, like, imagine when the new console launches and you could tell somebody, you know what, buy the console, is going to be $400, $500, and here's 6 months of Game Pass. And in that 6 months, you get our entire first-party launch lineup. You don't have to pay anything else for Halo, Gears, or whatever else is coming down the pipeline.
And the funny thing is, that's how they get people. You give someone people don't like change. If they had that for 3 to 6 months for free, they got row into the Sea of Thieves, whatever is going to be on at Halo. Once those are up, they're going to subscribe. Like,
they are. And the thing is, it's not even subscribe. Like, the subscriptions go up, but you see that the sales actually go up, because, like I said, with choice, what they'll do. All right, Forza Horizon's in Game Pass, right? But if you want to get that 4 or 5 days early, here's this $80 version.
That's the finesse. What is
the finesse? Oh, yeah, that's the finesse in the day.
You got the hardcore. You got the hardcore Halo fans. They're not going to wait for Game Pass. They're going to get that 4-day early pass. And not only are they going to get that, they're going to spend more money because they're spending $80 to $100 to get that game early. And I didn't think I was that kind of person. Then Halo Wars 2 came out. You will do it for your game.
Let me jump in, because let me jump in. Lady Red Infamy going in the chat hard right now. I gotta say some stuff. So first of all, she made some comments. She was like, Forza's one game against all of Sony and Nintendo, whole lineup of 5 years. That's so bad. And she made some comments in reference to Microsoft being, Xbox being taken seriously as an entity in the Microsoft, ecosystem. The point I would say to that is, which I was trying to explain in the chat, was just that, like, this is different in the sense that, one, this is the first time Meyerson, who didn't view Xbox in that light, is not in the picture anymore. He's a lot of responsibility for that, as well as we all know Don. So we ain't gonna bring his name up. But now that Phil is actually at the table and appointed by Satya, that's a huge culture shift. You know what I'm saying? And you've seen it with the acquisition of the studios and stuff. I'm not disagreeing with you as far as what they've done this gen and how many great games. I'm with you on that, right? I'm with you. But all I'm saying is, there's definitely a culture change. And as far as the Game Pass specifically, all I want to say is that I do agree with Lboogie in the sense that this is the first, in my opinion, like, super high quality, not much flaws, that I'm like, wow, I just really got this game low key, not for free, but it feels that way, right? Because normally,
you felt like it was a finesse, right?
Yeah, I felt like I was finessing, because I'm with you, King. Like, when that first week dropped and all the early adopters get it early, and I'm looking at my Game Pass app like, yo, what's up? Where I thought day and date. Where's the day and date at? Like, I want to play with everybody.
You didn't pay that bread. You didn't put that bread down.
I know.
She said Xbox needs talent also, and they've been doing that. They've actually been poaching people from the competition.
Oh, I love it.
I mean, and I understand that argument because again, they haven't. They need the games need to be there. Period. And new games need to be there. It can't be just Halo, Gears, and Forza. It can't just be absolutely.
You know what?
At the end of the day, they're letting.
But like they know that too, though. It's not.
They're letting a first-party studio make another game. That's unheard of. They're letting Playground make another game. They bought Ninja Theory. It's looking like there's a lot of rumor that they're buying it Obsidian. Like they are making these progressions to fix what needs to be fixed. Now, a lot of people
they're not understanding. All right, Microsoft is the same building complex, right? That was run, and let's say that the pipes weren't getting done and the stairs weren't getting done and the hallways weren't being clean and the elevators were shoddy, and then new management came in. New management came in, kept the same building and said, oh, this is a dope building. All we got to do is just fix up these things. All right. So the people that believed in the project decided to work. So now they had to go out and purchase the contractors to do the work. Contracting work don't get done in one day. They went and purchased studios. Those games will take time. All right. So you will see that this building will look better. The elevators will run finer. The hallways will be cleaner. The steam will work. I'm giving it to you in a layman's term so you can understand games are not made yesterday. They don't acquire a studio and that studio comes in and ports the game over and say, you got game.
It takes time.
All right? Takes time. Sony didn't build this overnight. I was there at ground zero when Sony showed up to the party and they didn't have games. And they had to fight and they had this
the launch of the
struggle.
PS4. We all felt initially that it was a lot
not
of
even that. Joe, I'm talking about the original, the OG, when they were getting beat in the head by Sega and Nintendo. And when me and you were sitting there and Sovereign was sitting there, we like, yo, this Sony's dudes is all right. And these studios were a joke. They were a laughing stock. And they built. It took time to build. Don't act like Microsoft and Sony came into the party at the same time. No, Sony had a pedigree before Microsoft. Microsoft is the neophyte here. All right, you got to understand, Microsoft is the neophyte. Microsoft is learning. That 360 thing that they did to the Big Brother, they punched Big Brother in the mouth. That's the first time you notice that little brother can wrestle.
At the end of the
all right, so little brother punched Big Brother in the mouth. Oh, that's hip hop gamer.
At the end of the day, Microsoft is doing exactly what people wanted. They're taking the gaming approach like they take every other genre, every other industry they try to get into. They throw money at it. They wasn't doing that for the longest time because I low-key do think that Microsoft, remember the rumors that they were trying to find someone to buy the brand Xbox? I think that was low-key happening. But I think Phil Spencer presented it in a way to keep it, or because at the end of the day, Phil Spencer doesn't have an anarchy that he goes up anymore. He just got to convince it to the people he sit at that table with. That's all now. He don't got to go through Meyerson. Meyerson got to go through whoever he was a boss with. He got to go through. He is right there where they discuss where the money goes.
But here's the thing. Here's the big point. And shout out to Lord Santoba, who just hit me. He's making a great point. I think we're all missing is that as much as people say what they want about Game Pass, we have to admit from a financial standpoint, it's been a success. You know what I'm saying? Both Sea of Thieves and State of Decay were on the MPD. And from what we're hearing right now, from this article from GameIndustry.buzz, it's already confirmed that Forza Horizon 4 has already hit the number 3 sales spot in Europe, the Middle East, and Australia. And that's by September 30th. So, and this is no Game Pass numbers. So at the end of the day, that is generating the growth. That's generating the sales. The service is working. Whether you feel there's quality games or, overall how you feel about Microsoft the generation, that's one thing. But we cannot understate the success of this service for them. And Forza Horizon is, in theory, their crowning jewel on the service. And that's things we can't lose track of. So shout out to Santover. Hit me with that. That's fantastic news. I didn't even realize he was doing that.
I get where these people are coming from. I'm getting tired of saying, we have to wait. Because in all sense, we've been saying that for 4 years.
Oh, absolutely.
But at the end of the day, like, I got a PlayStation and a Switch. Like, I don't be just sitting around on Xbox all day. Like, That's the part that kills me. Most people have multiple platforms. You know what I really play Xbox with? I play a lot of my multiplats. It's my Destiny machine. That's all this thing is. Like, and I enjoy it for that because I have my friends on Xbox. Like when PlayStation drops something, I played Spider-Man for 2 days straight. People be acting like people have to it's like they have a life contract and they have to write it with blood. And if they go on
that's what Lboogie said. Lboogie said the same thing.
You know what I think is because most people are broke and can't afford nothing but one console.
I didn't say it. L said it.
So then they gotta justify their purchase.
Preach it. I've always said that. I feel a lot of this console war stuff, to be completely honest, you just nailed it. It comes down to financial responsibility. Right. And they go to the store and say, which one should I get? And you make that singular choice. Now, when you make that singular choice,
you gotta justify it.
Yeah, you gotta justify it. You lying in bed with that, you rolling in it. Not all of the gamers are like us, where it's like, you know what? If something's good on another platform, we gotta get that. Right. You know what I'm saying? Some people are like, nah, but I already, spent this money in this ecosystem, and that game sucks, and it's this whole emotional thing to justify a singular platform purchase. And I completely agree with you.
And what's funny is that all these people that I see critiquing Xbox, they don't even have an Xbox. It just blows my mind. It's like,
that game sucks. Like, because you're watching it on Twitch with horrible quality.
I see people like literally people will go on Metacritic score. They'll pop up, State of Decay. I will say Sea Thieves isn't for me. I'm not going to call it trash. It's not for me. But they'll pop up State of Decay, Sea of 69. Demon trash, and not even try it, not even boot it up.
My bad.
They don't even try any of that. And I'm just like, look, at the end of the day, State of Decay might not be for you, but a lot of people take Metacritic. They take this console war thing way too far. Yeah. It's like if you go on Twitter, shout out to Kratos. It's trash. It's like everyone that like that, they right there with them. It's like, you know how I know it's bad? When I can't say I didn't like the boss fights in Spider-Man and I get destroyed on Twitter. Right. I can't even make a critique when I played it. When most of these people that have commented on this tweet haven't even played the game. But I can't make a critique because I'm an Xbox. It's like, dude, I play more games than most of these people critiquing me.
It's viewed as hating at it. Nowadays when you have an opinion and it's not in line with the majority, it's viewed as hating. It's viewed as just salty. It's viewed as something else other than you just having an opinion on something that doesn't jive your way. Like, if you don't like something or have critique about something, it's fine. It's okay. It's not the end of the world. We're not all gonna like everything.
People attack every aspect of Xbox. It's like equivalent of me attacking PS Now. It's like, they let you download the PS4 and PS2 games. Why not the PS3 games? Like it's like Gamepass. Like, why can't we just say it's a good service? Why do we always have to find little things to anchor it down? Why can't we? Okay, that's a good move on Microsoft. Why does it always have to be so they can publish trash games? Like, why does it always have to be because they can't sell games? Why does it always have to be because they have mediocre games that don't work? It's like, it blows my mind when a game like Forza Horizon comes out. I'll give you State of Decay and Sea Thieves had low Metacritic scores. That has nothing to do with what was put on Game Pass. That is a review aspect from multiple people in the industry averaged together. That has nothing to do with the product.
Here we go. Here we go. I
like that. What do my shirt say? Can y'all hear me?
I like that.
Can y'all hear me?
Are you saying you're hold up, hip hop? Are you saying you're the real king? He's a fraud?
Yeah, we can hear you, bro. What's going on,
yo, first off, I love y'all. You know what it is. You gotta get that out there. I love y'all. I miss y'all. What's going on?
Love you, bro. You already know. Much appreciated coming through. I know you about to drop some balls with all this Microsoft talk.
B.
Because I'm looking at. Don't put the camera on me right now. I'm looking at. I'm not in my full form right now. But yo, when you was talking about that PlayStation didn't have nothing at ground zero against Sega. Sega fucked up at E3 alone in Atlanta with Sega Saturn. Like, are you serious?
You guys talking about Sega? I'm gonna add to
that. I'm playing
yo, check it out. I'm gonna add to that, right? First off,
the first 2 months of what PlayStation came out had a nice launch setup. So I have no idea what you're talking about.
Son, from PlayStation 1,
rebuttal,
when you came,
finish.
Like when you came, they came with you had Siphon Filter, Ridge Racer, Wipeout, Metal Gear Style.
OG PlayStation. Oh my bad.
That was the first PlayStation out the gate.
What we're gonna do is we're gonna get into that, because being that you wanted to ambush me, and I like the shirt that you just put on, but I want you to see what this shirt look like. Now I want you to understand. You understand what's really happening right here, right? You know you're going against the mouth, right? So I can get you right now. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get you right now. I didn't want to get you right here. You know,
I'm going against the mouth. Pause. I don't want to know what your mouth do, bro.
Listen. I'm gonna start it off. I'm gonna do it like you. I'm gonna start it off with, you know, I love you. Now, listen. When I didn't want you to take it out of context when I told you that Sony was the neophyte going up against those two big juggernauts. All right, we're not going to talk about the mistakes. We're not going to talk about the missteps of Sega. Sega tripped their own self up and fell out. We know this. We're not saying anything against that. We're saying is this, and I told you, if you listen to the context of what I said, was Sony Studios were not up to par. You just talked to me about third-party titles, right? You just talked to me about Ridge Racer. Ridge Racer was made by Namco, right? What I'm explaining to you is, at that point in time, Sega and Nintendo had a giant pedigree. Their giant pedigree, you couldn't put nothing Sony came up with against a Mario. You understand? But now Sony has titles that can actually hang. You know? Sony actually has titles that can actually stand the test of time. God of War and these games actually show that they have built studios that can fortify against any attacks coming their way. But in the beginning, it was not so.
But they killed them.
Let me ask you a question. Hold up. Let me ask you a question. Because I'm gonna make it even worse for you. Because the fact that you came out with the whole first party this, first party that.
Because Siphon Filter wasn't there.
Hold up. Name one generation that Microsoft ever beat Sony globally worldwide. Ever. Never. All right then. Never. So my thing is out the gate.
Well, even Sega.
Out the gate.
Sega and Nintendo.
No, I'm going through it. Out the gate. Sony never lost. Now let's go to Sega. Name one generation did Sega ever beat Sony globally.
Okay, I give you one. I give you a generation. The Master System. Because they wasn't there. They wasn't there. They just they wasn't around. When Genesis was there, where was the people that when Genesis was there? Y'all was making TVs. They weren't there. Like, what are you talking about? I'm telling you again. You're talking about. You keep telling me. Yo, listen. Hold up. Exactly, doesn't make any sense. You know why?
That don't even make any sense, bro.
It makes a lot of sense.
That's like saying, hold on, that's like saying you showed up to a fight, somebody didn't show up, so you won.
Exactly.
There wasn't even a business.
By forfeit.
That doesn't even make any sense.
By forfeit.
I'm talking about PlayStation 1. Hold up. When Sony PlayStation 1 came out, it came out in 1994 in Japan, in 95 in America. Right, September 1999 to be exact. Right,
here we go.
When Sony came on the scene,
Sega Saturn
did Sega? Because it was PlayStation 1 versus Sega Saturn.
They
right?
got obliterated.
What happened? What happened?
It was really Sega wasn't paying you dudes no mind. That was their problem.
Baby, I got you. So that means Sega. That means Sonic the Hedgehog. Hold up. That means Sonic the Hedgehog, Panzer Dragoon. None of these games could mess with what PlayStation came out with the gate.
I'm a Sega fan.
And let me tell you something. Because, hold up. Because of the first year and the business deals that they managed to make, these games was only on PlayStation. So for the moment, in terms of platform versus platform,
what you're telling me is at this point, see, this is where you're gonna get the Combat King. This is the part right here we're gonna get beat down. This is it. This is where the smashing comes in. Smashing is happening right now. This is the smash. Pause.
Let's go.
So you said when Nintendo looked at y'all and was like, "Nah, we see the ambition in your eyes. We're gonna throw y'all in the bushes. Get your stuff together."
Whoa!
I'm going with Nintendo. I'm going with Nintendo. See, because you don't put this stuff.
Hold up. When PlayStation 1 was out, Nintendo 64 they came out. It was Nintendo 64, Sega Saturn, and PlayStation.
And
Nintendo 64 got destroyed.
It got destroyed, right? It got destroyed.
Nintendo didn't work with Sony.
Exactly.
Sony
even worse. Nintendo tried to shit on Sony, and Sony was like, "What?" And Sony came with those bars and destroyed Nintendo 64.
Sony was supposed to come out on stage.
Wait a second. Wait. Why are you turning it into whatever? Yo, stop doing your Sony narrative crap. Stop turning it. Your studios were trash. Your studios were straight garbage. Like, it was straight garbage. Like, listen, and I'm gonna tell you. Listen, let me tell you why. I want you to be honest. I want you to stop this. I want you to stop this. I want you to stop this. I want you to be honest, and I want you to stop it right now. I want you to be honest.
Let's go.
Those studios, those first games, those studios when they came out, was they as strong as those same studios now, today?
No, they just started.
That's none of the
other
studios.
The conversation. Time out.
That's nobody.
No. Listen. That's the conversation. It's not what you trying to turn. It's not what you trying to turn it into. What you trying to turn it into is a Sony show. Great, that's fantastic. I don't care. But what I'm explaining to you is what I'm explaining to you is in the beginning when they were getting their footing and they were learning the ropes, their studios grew to a pedigree that they can stand on their own. That is something that you cannot deny. That is something that you cannot walk away from. That is something that is a fact.
Let's get Red. Hold on.
Let's do this right. I got a question for you. Let's do this right. The first big exclusive. Now listen to me. The first big exclusive that came from like a Sony studio that ended up on PlayStation was Polyphony Digital's Gran Turismo. Right. When Gran Turismo came out, it was labeled as the best racing game out there. And not only that, they had Ridge Racer. Not only did they have Ridge Racer, that was a third party. It was only there. So my point is, what you're trying to say, correct me if I'm wrong, what you're trying to say is you're focusing solely on Sony Studios games that they made. Is that what you're saying?
When they was building their infrastructure, yes.
Okay, so my thing is to you. When Sony came out with their games, Polyphony Digital,
and then
they set it off with they set it off with Grand Theft Auto. I'm sorry, they set it off with Gran Turismo. Then Naughty Dog came along, and that was Crash Bandicoot. So if you want to talk about Sony in their studios, the things that they was doing during the first era of PlayStation is what led them to the victory.
And
so out the gate,
they didn't even acquire Naughty Dog yet.
Yeah, so
until later on.
Yeah, so out the gate, if you want to talk about out the gate, Sony was coming out with hits that set them up during the PlayStation 1 era that gave them the victory over 64 and Sega Saturn that led into the PS2, which led into the PS3.
So you're saying the studios when they launched they had a pedigree and they was that strong.
Yes, over time. Yes. And
think about it. Okay, let's be honest. You're adding over time. I'm just asking you a yes or no question.
Yes.
So people going to the store. All right. So a parent going to the store. You a parent. Let's say you're a parent going to the store, and you know Nintendo, and these new dudes show up and they have Crash Bandicoot and they have Mario. As you a parent, understanding that this established franchise is there, your son has both systems, right?
Right.
What are you going to go with? The tried and true or the something that you don't know about?
Look what this.
No, well, at first, of course, you're going to go with what you know. Everybody goes with what they know.
There we go. That's my whole thing.
But just because you go with what you know doesn't mean it's better. That's the difference. For example,
I didn't say that.
Hold up.
Never said that.
Yeah. So my point is, we're talking about what actually took place in the actual verdict. I'm not talking about what ifs. 9 times out of 10, you ask anybody that question, they're gonna go with what they know.
Sony had a lot of missteps in their first party games. A lot of missteps.
What missteps? Tell me the missteps.
What was that whack ass game?
Which one?
Where you was the knight with the skull head.
Medieval was garbage, you stupid. Yo,
it was hot trash. What about Jumping Jack Flash? What about Jumping Flash?
I like Jack Flash.
Jumping Jack Flash the movie.
This dude said Jumping Jack Flash the movie.
What about Jumping Jack Flash? They do that in the bushes too, right? That's in the bushes with Medieval, right?
I like Jumping Flash.
Yeah. You and the other 5 people that brought it.
Hold on. Don't go into sales, bro. Don't go into sales because you will lose every time.
I want to ask Red a question because
do not go into sales
in the chat in reference to the whole Microsoft Studios and the whole Game Pass thing, with the generation, and she made some points in reference.
I love Game Pass. That's dope.
Like all we're saying, Red, is we're just talking about, because you made some good points in reference to them not having the great games initially, and that Microsoft wasn't really taking Xbox serious. And the only point I was trying to say, which is in reference to the whole Satya Nadella and bringing Phil to the table, and a lot of those decisions were Terry Myerson. A lot of those decisions were Don Milford. So it's like, for us to expect it, we know they're getting killed in the gen, and as far as the quality game, it's not even a comparison. We know this, but we're just trying to say that what's going on now with Game Pass and to have a quality exclusive like a Forza Horizon 4, that's pretty huge.
No, I mean, what nothing I'm saying, which I was saying was wrong. What I was saying is that the need for, like someone has said, well, Nintendo, and why isn't Sony and Nintendo doing anything of that nature? And I was saying, well, their backs is not against the wall.
Got you. Okay, I see where you're going.
You don't need to come up with some type of solution or situation in order to stay relevant.
Right, because they're the market leader.
Well, I actually have something to say to that then. If
I was going to say something too.
They didn't care about, Game Pass, about EA Access. Why is Sony making all the PS4 and PS2 games natively downloaded? I mean, apparently they do feel some kind of heat from that service because
it wasn't a heat. That was a decision that was already put in place.
Okay, so then how do you? All right, so that's a good point. But how do you explain then them also acquiescing on crossplay, which is something they had a staunch stance?
First of all, last gen, Sony wanted to do crossplay with Microsoft and Nintendo systems and PC.
Talking about now. We ain't talking about them.
We are talking about now, but in order to know about now, you need to know about what happened from before.
Right, you're talking about the Final Fantasy, right?
Yeah, a Final Fantasy and other games as well that they wanted to do as multi-plat. People is giving them slack now, and as far as Sony doing it now, they're coming to a place where, okay, if the fans want it, then why not? The reason why they did not want to do it at first is probably because of some bitterness, and also because of a business standpoint as far as a model. If I was to buy something on Microsoft and Nintendo, and yet, or if I bought it first on Sony, yet I'm using those same things on the other ones, then how am I actually making money off of that one game if I have a partnership with that one title?
Right.
So I understood that point. As far as doing crossplay from before, it's so funny how Microsoft is wanting to team up with Nintendo to say, hey, we want to do crossplay and we're for the gamers. Yet last generation, when they was on top, they didn't want to do it.
Right.
So, but now they want to do it because they want to be.
Shows, if you listen to past shows, we already dictated that coming from the back position post that you are actually going to be more acquiescent in
you cut me off. I wasn't.
Yeah.
I didn't go through your archive of last shows. He's asking me a question now. He's asking me on why I'm saying what I'm saying. So I'm answering on what I'm saying and why. So I only can answer what is being asked now. I don't know about from the last show. My bad.
No, it's all good.
But other than that, that's what I'm talking about as far as the position that Microsoft is in. I'm glad that they're at least trying to do something to stay relevant and stay up to par. As far as the talent that they're acquiring, that talent is not enough that they have. So to me, the only top talent that they got right now is Playground and Ninja Theory right now that can make something happen. As far as the other games and the problem on what Microsoft is going through, and like every E3 I go to, I'm always looking forward to Microsoft before all the other two. And the reason why is because I'm looking for them to actually shake it up again. I already know what Sony's going to do. I already know what Nintendo's going to do because they're consistent. I want Microsoft to be consistent in what they're going to give the gamers. They want to be favorable again to the gamers. That's why they're doing this stuff that they're doing now.
Sony was inconsistent this last year.
I want to get Lboogie.
They've been very inconsistent this generation than any other. Like this is their third, of course, but they've been very inconsistent with their marketing, what they're trying to do. At least Nintendo had redeemed themselves from Wii U with the Switch to let you know exactly where they fucked up at and where they want to get better at. We haven't really seen, like, as far as with Microsoft, we've seen it with the Game Pass and Xbox
with
Play
services,
Anywhere. With services. That's not too concrete on what the Xbox One X power. I want to see the full power, not from a third party. I want a title that's going to come out to show me the true power and why I should acquire an Xbox One X and not just buying a PC to play your titles.
And just to add to, just real quick, just to add to that,
and I got to get
like,
L in after. We got to get Lboogie in after.
Got you. So, like, one of the things is if your marketing campaign is about being the most powerful system, and you got Xbox One X out there, but yet God of War looks better than
I know where you go, hip hop. We've had this discussion.
I mean, damn, bro.
Yeah, no, bro. Like, what's crazy is we all agree with you guys based on past ILPs. We've said everything you guys have said. Like, please be clear. Like, we are in agreement.
No, y'all. First of all, y'all my favorite Xbox. Okay. Because y'all are very informative. Y'all not crazy with it. Y'all don't come out like because if I'm gonna tune in to an Xbox podcast, I want to hear mostly about Xbox and how y'all feel about Xbox and so forth. Of course, you're gonna talk about PlayStation and Nintendo because of course it's in the industry to go in line with.
And you know I had to call in because y'all my brothers.
But y'all
a family.
Y'all have. I love when podcasters with the platform that they're most passionate about have some actual ethos in what they're talking about. So I do applaud y'all with that and everybody that's on the panel even right now with y'all whole podcast. So I love y'all podcast.
Love what y'all doing too. Let me get Lboogie in because she's chomping at the bit. So let's go.
My sis Lboogie.
What's up, L?
Yo, what's up, Red? Yo, I was just.
Yo, what's up, Lboogie?
What's up? How y'all doing? What was I gonna say? I was just gonna say that I don't think that it's a flaw that Xbox is per se, quote unquote, with their backs against the wall because competition breeds innovation, and Xbox constantly comes with the innovation. Like even back in 2013, PlayStation was gonna have DRM.
That is true. That is true. They did delay the conference.
They were definitely gonna have DRM
after they found out.
And then they tried to sweep the shit up, wipe the shit up, and say, "Oh yeah, this is how you share games. This is how you do this."
Which was brilliant marketing.
Y'all was doing that. Y'all was gonna do the same thing to the consumer,
right?
And really, it was the idiots that didn't know where technology was going because there is like a minute amount of people that know where technology is and know where technology is going to know that DRM was a necessity, is the next step because all digital is the next step. Like
we weren't ready for it.
Games are like, what is it? Halo, right? It's like 100 gigabytes down there.
Yeah, it's huge.
What disc are you putting that on? what disc is allowing you to put that on there? And PlayStation doesn't even have a Blu-ray player. So what disc are you putting that on?
Yeah, I mean, sizes of games in the 4K and all that stuff. Listen, at the end of the day,
that's what I'm saying. Like the innovation is always
the digital revolution. We're ready. Go ahead, Hip Hop.
In terms of innovation, one thing I could say about Microsoft in the Xbox brand is when they introduced the hard drive in the console and Xbox Live.
Oh yeah,
in the console, and the adaptive controller and the adaptive controller
and the pass through.
And the
you talking about the HDMI pass through with the TV?
And HDMI pass through.
Oh, you talking about the 2.2?
No, HDMI pass through where you can actually have your system linked straight through your TV. Yeah. I mean, that's cool. You may say that it's cool, but that thing also allowed you to instantaneously shift back and forth through your home system, your TV, your network, and it took an account of what was going on. Now, maybe other people didn't see the viability in it, but Microsoft did.
Yeah, now I feel that. But see, here's my thing. In terms of innovation, I feel everybody played a part in what we're seeing today in terms of innovation. Absolutely. So for example, if PlayStation 2 didn't bring DVD
that was huge.
Nobody's saying PlayStation doesn't bring
in terms of impact.
Yeah,
that was like the biggest impact that took gaming culture overall to the mainstream. You know what I'm saying? And Sega was the first one to do online, but Xbox did it in a way where it like really, really worked, and we was able to build off of that. But Sega did do it. So, but in terms of innovation, Nintendo, Sony, and Microsoft all had their fair share of impactful innovation. So, in terms of me, I give props to them all because they all did great. Xbox Live, the hard drive in there, Sony with the DVD. Now, one thing I want to talk about when you look at the PlayStation Now and the Gamepass, like I just feel like they both doing the same thing but backwards. Like Xbox is about to come out with their streaming service. PlayStation did their streaming service first. Now you won't be able to download the PlayStation stuff and play it natively. Xbox did that already. Like, so I feel like they're doing the same things but just did it in reverse. So that right there is good too. I love it. Now, the reason, like, the bottom line is for me, the reason why I had to jump on this podcast.
Oh, tell me why you jumped in. That's what I want. I want to know what got y'all riled up. I love it.
Here's the thing that made me jump in. Now, when you made the comment about like Sony being trash. Like out the gate. Listen, you can't say Sony is trash out the gate when Sega and Nintendo took L's when Sony came out the gate. And it was out way before ever.
The Kings got complacent. The Kings got complacent. They sat there on their thrones and they got fat while other people starved. And Sony came in with the hungry belly, and they fed everybody. You understand what happened? He know what I'm talking about.
No, I'm not.
I'm telling you right now.
Yo, King, you know what? Yo, listen, you know what? One day I'm gonna just come to your crib, son, and we're gonna do this. Like that's it. I'm telling you because I think we need to do a podcast where we actually show everything. Like,
y'all will
for real. Now, but yeah, like to me, at the bottom line is this: the reason why you buy a game system at the core is because of the games, and for Sony to beat Nintendo, let's keep it 100. For Sony
to come on the
who never had a console ever, to come in and beat Nintendo and Sega out the gate, and it wasn't just third-party games. It was a mixture of third-party games. It was a mixture of their exclusives, and it was a mixture of business deals.
Right.
That was the triple. Because from a business deal standpoint, Final Fantasy VII was the genius business deal.
Oh, that was
the best.
That was one of the best business deals. That's one. Second, because of their third-party support. With games like Crash Bandicoot set the tone to the point where you got Crash Bandicoot coming on Nintendo's. Crash Bandicoot, they made a commercial with Crash going to the Nintendo office.
I remember that with the microphone. Yeah, I remember
you're talking about stuff that was done by. See, listen, you're talking about a dude that sat there and watched these other dudes fight. You don't ever forget about Sega does what Nintendo don't. You know, that stuff like that, they saw marketing and they understand what the people wanted. Sony was actually for the people at that point in time. Now, do we understand that they're getting fat now?
They're
getting fat now? They what? Do you really want me to go upstairs and put jewelry on? Do you want me to do that?
No,
do you want me to do that?
You trying to start the business?
Do you want me to do that? Do you want me to do that? Do you want me to do that? Still sharp and still. Time out.
Yo, let's get Attic.
I have to leave here in a second. I do want to bring up. You know, it is decisions like, you know, Sony made with the Final Fantasy VII that really, you know, they've always been good on the business side. Because let's be like, I don't even want to know because Final Fantasy VII, along with a couple other games, they really helped that PlayStation brand get really big. Imagine if like Nintendo would have went CD based and Final Fantasy VII would have been on Nintendo.
We talking about what ifs. I'm talking about what happened. I'm not talking about what ifs. I'm not talking about what happened.
I'm literally saying Sony makes good business decisions. He just want
to fight.
Yo, hip hop is ready.
You know, listen, I put hip hop in his feelings.
I know you know. Listen, I know you're saying what I'm saying. I get you. I know you on the side. I love you. I got you. I'm just saying, like, there was one more thing I wanted to say to the trifecta that I had. And the last trifecta is games that Sony made, like games like Siphon Filter at that time, games like Gran Turismo, then they came out with the Wipeout, like these like games like Twisted Metal, that was a big joint.
So yeah, 360, like what PlayStation did in motion is what the 360 had in motion. They just wasn't consistent with keeping those second and third party titles on their platform over all the rest of them.
Right.
All right. So we got a little bit off track by sitting here with the Sony fanboyism. All right, we're gonna jump back off of the fanboyism. We go. Listen. What I do appreciate is the fact that you did bend the knee and acknowledge the fact that they built they pedigree from early stock. All right, and they had to go up against superior competition.
I got one fanboy thing I need to say for hip hop though, because I got one thing, fanboy. Because hip hop, remember I had you on, and at that time in 2017, the Switch had launched, and me and Solve was coming for you because we said they were good at TVs, and you said that let's see in 2018.
I had told him that the Switch was coming through. I already knew it was going to happen.
He was coming for us. Hip hop was coming
I already knew the Switch was going to happen because the Switch was doing what PS2 numbers was doing. So I already knew that the Switch, because of the same pattern that the PS2 did, and the Switch was on par with it. I already knew what the Switch was going to be in 2018, and I had told him that.
No doubt, but your man, he didn't. I got the footage.
But my thing is, I did want the reason why I wanted to. Now listen. The reason why I did want to wait. The reason why I did want to wait is because you got to see the year over year where it's at.
So if this year they were, because it's already Matt Piscatella from MPD, who we had on this show, has already projected them to sell the most in 2018 from a revenue standpoint. So do I need to wait for them official numbers for you to come back? We get the knee bending.
We get the 50. Y'all wait for the 50. But listen, hear me out. It's very important because a lot of times out the gate, and that's for anything, people could get like real hype because of the moment.
Absolutely.
So just from a professional standpoint, you have to really analyze what's really happening.
And that's why I showed you the PS4. Yeah, like how the PS4, how the PS4 was on the rise. Yeah, and what it did, those numbers from year one. Then seeing the Switch do the same thing, I'm like, yo, the Switch is gonna be crazy by 2018. Yeah, and it happened.
Yeah, like Switch is crazy, but my thing is like I said,
consistency.
Yeah, and they coming out with they doing their thing. What I'm saying is like I like to see from year over year,
right,
and see what it is, because that's the way you can measure the behavior of the consumer. Right. And how they feel it. Because think about it, you can feel somebody one day, then next year you ain't feeling them, and then it go back. Like you got to see how that goes. So to me, I still want to see that. But Switch is doing their thing. Y'all was right. Switch is doing their thing.
I think it's rotary, but that's my opinion.
I hate to cut. I would talk to y'all all day. First of all, thank y'all so much for coming through and just listening to us. Like that is so much love. I got so much
hip hop. You gotta hit me because me and you supposed to be doing stuff, and you know that already. And I hit you.
Red, I gotta get you on too.
I hit you, and you ain't hit me back.
You said what?
Red, I gotta get you on for sure. I loved you to chat. You absolutely I really appreciate what you're doing out here. For sure.
Thank you. I mean, I appreciate y'all for what y'all doing. Always love to give, support. If y'all need help on anything, just let me know.
Oh, definitely.
Hip hop.
The only one that can help us is us.
No doubt.
I don't know if you heard that show when I saluted you that morning. You was on Street Soldiers.
You was on Street Soldiers.
All right.
You was man. Much love, man.
Man.
You understand? And I know you made the move over to that space over there from the other space to the next space. I do appreciate everything that you're doing. I told you that 100%. You know what I'm saying? And I'm there. You know that already.
Facts, yo.
You know what I would like to do? I would like to do. I think it'll be real cool. I got to figure out how I want to do it. But one of these days, I want to do a Iron Lords podcast live in front of the audience.
Let's do it.
So
we can do whatever you want.
So my thing is, I know
we was trying
is everybody in New York
when I told you to come over to the compound.
In New York except Attic. Everyone's in New York except Attic.
We may have to Skype you in, or you may have to fly in. But my thing is, I think it'll be really cool because out in New York, I got the space to do it. Like we could probably do it at Venom Media, which is Gary V's space, and he has the Twitch and everything set up. So we could probably like go live stream because, like, for example, we gonna talk.
We'll talk about it. We'll talk about it.
But I think it'll be really dope to include, like y'all in that, because the awareness would be huge. Like that's one thing.
We'll talk about it. We'll talk about it.
Yeah, we'll talk about it. But I really think that'd be really good because y'all have a great podcast. Y'all got great chemistry, and you can tell it come from a real place of love when y'all like talking with one another. It doesn't feel all awkward or nothing. I appreciate y'all. I love you. I love you.
I love y'all.
All day, man.
Hip hop.
So look, I'm about to roll out. Y'all continue doing y'all thing. But son, we lit.
No doubt. Much appreciated.
I peace out.
Salute. Oh, that was dope. We got the hottest cameo in the business right now. Much love, Lady Lboogie. I appreciate you dealing with all our craziness.
Oh, yeah, I know. I showed up and it just went left.
Listen, it's all love, and it came from a place of love. And like I said, it's just great to see. I'm just gonna, Saul, I'm gonna talk to you. We might have to dead the last two if it's cool, because we way over. I'm just gonna announce obviously Switch 2.0. And obviously they're talking about a possible revision, and basically what I feel about it, and so basically what we know is just that it may include the hardware improvements, a more efficient battery, thinner device, higher quality LCD screen. So apparently it is definitely coming by Wall Street Journal in 2019, and also Solve, you were talking about. Let's combine our topic. You were talking about Rocksteady game, right?
Yeah. So I mean, real quick on the Switch thing, I think those are the improvements we're getting. I don't think it's going to be a more powerful machine. I really don't. Nintendo doesn't care about what we want. Right. So I think it's going to be a more efficient machine, smaller, maybe better screen, all that stuff. But none of that other stuff that we're looking for.
And the Rocksteady,
you think that's the dockless one?
Probably, yeah. They probably improved the dock in some way, shape, or form. And in terms of the Rocksteady stuff, so there was a rumor that came out of Reddit and Resetera, which then got sort of published by PlayStation Lifestyle. That's where I saw it. So basically, the rumor is that Rocksteady's next game is actually another game in the Arkhamverse, as opposed to a rumored Justice League game or maybe a Superman title. There was even some talk this past week when the footage of that Harry Potter game came out that might be their game. And it turns out it's not. It's probably Avalanche Software's game. The guys who used to work on Disney Infinity. So the rumor is that there's going to be a new Arkham game coming from Rocksteady. And I want to know what you guys feel about that, because to be honest, I love Arkham Asylum. I liked the improvements that they made in Arkham City. I was a little disappointed with Arkham Knight. I wasn't a fan of the tank stuff. It felt like it wasn't enough of a leap. And from what I'm seeing as bullet points of what could be, again, this is all rumor and speculation, the bullet points of what the improvements to this game are, and it doesn't feel to me that it's enough. When you see we see games like Spider-Man out there, when you see Red Dead coming down the pipeline, when you see what Assassin's Creed is doing, there's been a redefinition of an open world action game. So let me go real quick with the bullet points on what this game is. So it's supposed to be coming out 2019. It's coming out. It's targeting this gen in terms of consoles. It's going to be it's basically going to be all of Gotham City. So as opposed to kind of more closed-in environments with Arkham City, Arkham Asylum, and all stuff where you didn't have civilians around. Apparently, the city will be bustling. So you'll be able to do side content like you would like in a Spider-Man game, like robberies and stuff like that, which is something that they hadn't done before. They only focused on, Batman and the Bat family sort of messing with like goons and stuff like that. So the world is supposed to be living and breathing. You're supposed to be able to play as multiple members of the Bat family, as opposed to just Batman. There's supposed to be co-op gameplay, which they didn't detail what they're going to be doing with that. Apparently, the villains in the game will be the Court of Owls. If you don't know the Court of Owls, they were introduced during the New 52. They're basically an Illuminati type organization that sort of holds power in Gotham City. So that would be an interesting story to take. And basically, the bullet points also include all the stuff that people were not happy with the last game. They're gonna basically Batmobiles is gonna be transportation only. Every character can be using free roam. The Batcave is gonna be sort of your center for like upgrades and all stuff like that. And the big thing is gonna be the multiplayer. You'll be able to play in co-op. You'll be able to do co-op takedown moves, co-op stealth stuff. So I want to know what you guys feel about this. If this is something that you want, would you have preferred them to do something else in the DC universe? And is this enough, considering like the games that I mentioned before and the improvements they've made to the open world formula? Is that enough?
All right, Lboogie, I need you to the double question. So Switch revision 2.0 and this Batman new game supposedly. Are you interested?
I'm interested in the new Batman game because I've loved all their series. The Switch 2.0. I don't know. Throw it in the bushes. Like I'm just putting this out just to like combat people from emulating your games. Literally, that's like the reason. Like, there's no real upgrade. This is what people are gonna buy it. I'm sure. Like, oh my god. Yeah.
I feel you. Yeah, I don't ask like that. King, what your feeling on it?
Oh, the Switch. I'm hoping that they do the Tegra 2 chip inside the machine. I hope they go dockless or put something else in there. My thing is the lack of third-party support in the top tier titles. You understand? I know that y'all may say, okay, the 2K basketball, and they got important titles. I'm not saying that the titles that they did get aren't important. They're important to the ecosystem of Nintendo. But what I want to see is a broader spectrum when it comes to these third-party titles to be included into the Switch as well. With that being said, I'm still going to play on my PlayStation and my Xbox certain titles. Now, off to the Batman, I think we're going to catch fatigue on it. I think this is going to be the lackluster title. I think this is going to be the title that makes it switch from the company because you're beating Batman like a dead horse. Do something else. So let me see some daytime action because everything is at nighttime.
Did they say anything about the day solve or just that hasn't been talked about?
Specifically say anything about a day-night cycle. They just did say that it would be a living world. So it's not, the story-wise in all the Arkham games, they had a reason for why there were no civilians there, right? So they're trying to make it a true open world where you can do, so what Addict's favorite stuff to do in an open world, which is, running around doing meaningless tasks.
So, collecting old batarangs.
Collectathons and stuff like that. But according to the rumors, it's supposed to be their true last game in the Batman series. We'll see.
Yeah, listen,
I'm not disappointed by it. I mean, I wanted something different.
Yeah, I'll jump in real quick. Obviously, I was surprised by the news to hear about it. So yeah, I mean, listen, I'm all for it to give them a shot to see what they do, to see their new take on this game. Obviously it's a beloved series, and if they corrected things, I know a lot of people had issue with the whole Batmobile inclusion and how that was handled. So I'm cool. Now you got me when you said co-op. Once I heard co-op, my ears.
What type of co-op?
Exactly, that's the key. How is it implemented? Is it true co-op? Is it tacked on? I got to see that. I heard the characters, the Bat family will be in it. Nightwing, which I'm interested in. The Catwoman, all that. Red Hood sounds great. Again, it's just a matter of implementation. And shout out to Anchorman. I like what Warner Brothers is doing with that Harry Potter that got leaked. So if they're going that route, graphically and all that, I'm with it. But for what my topic with the Switch 2.0, obviously, I'm very interested in this news. So yeah, I just think I'm with you, King. Like, I mean, my gut. I'm actually with Lboogie. My gut says it's going to be a small revision. It's gonna be minor things, light screen, nothing, a little bit better battery life, and probably won't be a true mid-generation refresh like the X or the Pro. But I want to shout out my boy, Spawn Wave Media. He had me thinking because he said, actually Nintendo broke precedents before, and I didn't even realize this because with the 3DS XL, they had 3DS XL only titles that were not back.
The new Nintendo 3DS, the one that they added, that the 3DS XL was just a bigger version of the 3DS. The new Nintendo 3DS is the one that added the extra horsepower.
Exactly. So that actually surprised me. And we know Grandpa beat to his own drum, but I thought, I thought that's kind of ballsy to do even something like that, to leave kind of the past generation. That's a huge platform for them. So if they were to do something like that, I think with ballsy, my gut says they do not. But I would love to see a customized version of the Tegra 2. You know what I mean? And it, similar there. And for Kai, like, don't have us some Bluetooth. And damn it, put that app on the system. Put that voice chat app in the system. That's all I demand. I don't even care if it's not even a revision. If it's the same Switch, put the voice chat in the system.
Now they have to add something to it to give it that ability to do these things. I know y'all keep saying that it has the ability to do these things. I think it hampers something when those things are enabled.
Yeah, I would think if you have it running on the system, something's slowing down. That's for sure.
Yeah, shout out to Chief Tommy. Better screen battery. Won't be able to hack it with a pay-per-click OG Switch. Continue throwing in the bushes. Boss move. The real question: will it come with a power cable? Jay Fonzarelli. Reggie says no voice chat. Y'all be trolling me, man, but I love you.
My thing is that they've never
no voice chat.
They did break precedents with the new 3DS XL and making that, and they weren't necessarily successful with that. There were only 2 games, which was the Dynasty Warriors Zelda game and the Xenoblade game. That was it. So if they usually don't do power revisions in the first revision of something, right? Like cosmetic stuff.
Yeah, we crazy.
So listen. I'm not confident.
No doubt.
It's 2 o'clock.
2 o'clock is over. Right. New poll with the recent review rumors of the PS5 launching in 2019 and having PS4 and possibly having PS4 backward compatibility. How important is the timing of the release date for the Xbox Scarlet console? The choices are: A, Xbox should only release Scarlet when quality games are ready. B, if PS5 releases first, there is no chance Xbox can make a realistic comeback. C, Xbox must match PS5 release or launch first. Or D, I don't care. No one wants that smoke with the Switch Pro in 2019. That is the question. Those are the choices. Please rock the ILP vote when it goes up on Twitter tomorrow. Lady Lboogie. Absolute pleasure to have you.
Thank you for having me.
A little bit of a hijack. I apologize. But
it is 3 hours later. Yes,
it is 3 hours later. I am so sorry we had to
nah, you're good. It was fun.
Organic thing, but thank you so much for coming through and dropping them that knowledge. Where can people find you? What you got going on?
You can find me on Twitter at Lboogie0208, Mixer Lboogie0208. My stream schedule will probably be changing soon, so please stay tuned. Also, I'll be streaming later on tonight with a extra code of a month of Game Pass.
Okay.
Anybody who's trying to get on that Forza train.
That's what's up.
So make sure you come through, check my Twitter, and I'll let you know when I'm about to go live.
No doubt. Much appreciated. And thank you for all the work that you do with the stream team. Shout out to Snaldo. What's your
outros?
So we can let them know. What's your ILP?
He said, we're at outros.
He said, y'all still going?
I had to go to the store for my cousin. I was like, I didn't. I know we had like 2 topics left. You guys must have skipped them.
No, we combined.
Yeah, we did. It's 3 hours later.
It's 3 hours. This is crazy. Now. Salute to hip hop and Lady Red Infamy for coming through, dropping the knowledge.
One of them was Nintendo anyway. Nobody want to talk about that.
Oh, you missed it.
We did that already. We hit that. We hit that topic.
Of course, we get that one.
Yeah, you back there, Boogie. What's your ILP stream team schedule? Is that's the Wednesday? What we doing?
We do Tuesdays at 10. That might change though, but yeah, right now it's Tuesdays at 10.
Exactly. And we've already talked offline. We've got some things cooking up for the stream team. And like I said, please tune and support. She's out here. She's a true gamer. She really represents the culture. And we're very proud of what she's doing. So again, salute Lboogie, no doubt. And of course, Lord Addict dipping on us and then coming back at the end. Where can the find me?
I can't help it. You can find me on Twitter, ILP, Lord Addict ILP. You can find me on YouTube at Gaming Addict. I will be streaming Sinner Sacrifice or Redemption on the ILP channel. I think I got my streaming stuff fixed. I don't know yet, but we'll see.
Fingers crossed.
And that should probably happen in the next week. I'll have to look at the embargo code for it when I actually get because they send all that to you when they send you the email. I don't know what the embargo code is yet, but I'll definitely be streaming that, and I'm going to be posting a lot of content on that particular game. Well, what's it going to take for King to play that on the ILP channel?
We gonna work on that.
I play whatever, man. You understand how it goes. I'm down. I told Cognito I'm in.
No doubt. LordSov ILP, the Patreon of the Iron Bank. What is going on? And where can the find people find you?
First off, big shout out to Lboogie for coming through and dealing with our foolishness.
Marathon
foolishness.
I don't know what you're talking about, okay?
Marathon
of foolishness.
And shout out to our patrons as always. Thank you so much for the support. You guys can catch me on Twitter, LordSovILP, and BX Sovereign on PSN and Xbox Live. And I'll be playing some Forza and some Assassin's Creed later on today.
Online?
I'll be online.
Okay. Actually,
I'll be there.
He was on. I saw him on the other day. I was like, what?
You guys are interested, but later on today, Planet Xbox is probably going to stream Forza, so you guys can come through if you want.
No doubt. Oh, nice. And of course, Lord King out here, they try to get my man.
What's funny is he hit my jack, and I'm like, hip hop. What the hell is going on? So and then I put it to off, and then he texts me, yo, pick up the phone. So I'm like, all right. So I pick up the phone. I'm talking to him on the phone. I went in on the show, and I was like, I got you. I said, let me hit you. I send that over. This is family. You understand? Lboogie is family. Like that's family. Like we actually interact. She's part of my PUBG team. When we started doing stream team, well, right now, you understand, you gotta get that light level to 600. I'm not gonna call it fraud because I actually understand that you out here.
It's fine.
Elitism.
It's fine because even when you are that high, he's still gonna say, "I got my own stuff to do."
Nah. She knows I help her. She knows.
He comes through. Him and Monkey, they come through.
Him and Monkey. Shout out to Monkey.
Yeah, that's
absolutely.
Right.
It's okay, Boogie. There's an LFG app we don't want to have.
No, we don't.
The test will be though for the raid though, because he still has yet to come through with the raid action. So.
And I'm gonna call a fraud on you right now because I told you that morning that you were supposed to be on, you didn't show up. So. Fraudery to you, and we know it's true.
She said,
I know. People never do remember when they're frauding. But I must say, it is a pleasure having you on the show. When we started Stream Team and we started submitting names, you was the first name that I submitted. All right, and you was my #1 pick. You was my ace pick, and I'm so happy that it did work how it is working, and I know exactly you're gonna do great things. So with that said, I want y'all guys to get over to the ILP store at Teesprings. I want you to hit that link. I want you to get in there. I want you to get that Jay-Z green. If you have every color, you don't got the Jay-Z green.
It'll be
all right,
it's
gonna get put up. I'm sorry, I preempted that. I do apologize. But that color is coming. We have also other lines that's coming.
Bet you $20 Kid Smooth buys a green one. I bet you $20
It's coming green.
No, he's family. What I want y'all to do is, I want y'all to, after y'all get out of here and y'all on YouTube, I want you to go to the ILP channel. I want you to subscribe, like and subscribe. Put a comment down on any video that you see up there, because that is the only place that you will catch flashpoints. That is the only place that you will catch Combat Talk with the King, and you can catch ILP there as well. I need you to go there to subscribe, because the subscribers is not equaling out to what we have as followers. All right. So, in doing that, when we reach 1,000, we need to reach that 1,000. When we reach that 1,000, the benefit for you guys is going to be huge, a million times. All right, and that's what we're trying to do. So I think we're at 400 and some change, probably 500, and it's supposed to be higher. I every time I do talk about you guys are extended family. Like Jay Fonzarelli, Native, these guys, I know these guys. They are family. All right, so. And I'm happy when he wins a T-shirt or when he wins a game. I want to give away systems. All right? Let's get up to that number, guys. Let's get up to that number.
Absolutely. Salute the Lord King on that. Absolutely means a lot to us. Like, again, we're trying to do positive things here in the community, trying to stay away from the negativity. As you see, it's always love. We joke, we get at each other, but it's all from a place of love. And again, salute Lboogie. Salute, like I said, hip hop and infamy for coming through, because they felt passionate enough that they wanted to come in, and that's what we want. Like, we love that.
It's nice that I can say something and my jack rings. Yes, what? PlayStation trash.
and that's something we always try to do. It as you know, as hosts, sometimes I really, even if it's a differing opinion on a subject, I love that, to come in, state your case, show us why you feel the way you feel. That's the type of engagement, you know what I'm saying? We don't always have to agree, but it's all good that we don't agree. And as long as we respect each other, it's all from a place. Because one thing, we love this gaming thing. That's what it's about. So salute to them for coming through, the royal couple coming through. That was funny, man. I loved it. You got the channel. We already know the Teesprings is up with the shirts. More swag will be coming. This is the first line. We already know that. Kaibasu is going to do the audio. Also, another special announcement. We are on Google Play and Spotify, coming very shortly. Been approved. So for all our lords who cannot watch us
definitely go watch it on Spotify. You have no idea how hard it is to get on that service.
Yeah, man. So they just approved us. They said just wait a couple days. It's going down. And of course, like King said, the Combat Talk is lit. He predicted it. Go watch him. You know what I'm saying? Combat Talk is lit.
King predicted the brawl at the end? Is that
He did it all. He did it all.
If I could have told you that Khabib was going to jump out that ring, right now I would not be in New York. I would be somewhere in Honolulu because I had bet money.
Look, and of course, Flashpoint 34, my brethren, Ibantis, salute. He has just hit best trending on YouTube. He is selected by YouTube. Please support him for his Whisper of the Worm solo run. That is my brother. That's my destiny.
Yeah, brother. I saw that. I saw that. I was like, he lying. He didn't get it.
No, that dude. Crazy.
Salute my bro, man. I really love working with him. We have a good show on ILP. Check us out. That's usually Friday. Thank you so much, Lboogie. I see Lboogie in the chat. We really try to bring destiny for the hardcore, the purists. And that's it. We went over, but thank you guys for rocking. If anybody's got anything else, we good. All right. Everybody enjoy their Sunday. Peace.